And we are live. And there's nobody in here. Lovely. Pop chat. Okay. All right, people. Let's have some fun tonight. If somebody ever shows up. Dun, 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 dun. What up, Craig? There's a link in the Hangout box if you want to join. Get up on the panel. You know, show some love. It's in the Hangout box. I put one in the family channel and one in the regular small engine nation box. Leapfrog. Uh-oh. Who's Frog? And why are you leaping on him? Yep. We always have fun when we hang out and chat and everything else. Figure while I'm sitting here waiting on more people to get in here. Hey, Lucky. There's a link in the Hangout box if you want to join the panel. Sitting here peeling me a navel orange. So far the entertainment's me eating a navel orange. All right, cool. How you been, Lucky? It's been a little tiring, a little aggravating. Usual. Bad weather. Every time I start to go outside to work on something, it starts raining again. So, been kind of aggravating. Yeah. So, how's y'all's week been going? I think I pretty much know how Lucky's week's been going. Changing tires nonstop. Yeah, I see you. Had to get you in there. Sorry about that, Lucky.
That's all right. Night. How's it going, everybody? I just figured I'm going to have no camp tonight. I'm just going to shower, I'm eating dinner, kind of relax.
I ain't eating dinner, but I'm eating a navel orange.
Yeah. Yeah, my week has been okay. It's a little bit slower than usually at the tire shop, but I did some 1424s today, foam fill.
Foam fill?
Uh-huh.
I bet you that gets aggravating, don't it?
Time consuming, you know?
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Brother Greg?
Hey, horse. Eating ice cream, horse? Oh, that is just wrong. Eating ice cream and not bringing us none. He ought to be ashamed of himself, shouldn't he, Lucky?
Yep. What's going on, horse? I'm actually having deep fried chicken strip with honey mustard.
Ooh, chicken tenders.
Yep, pretty much, yeah. Walmart specials.
Hey, they still good, though.
Yeah.
started getting stuff cleaned up outside and getting ready to start moving some stuff around where I can work on the bad boy. And now this whole week, every time I start to go outside, it starts raining. I'm sitting there like, every time I start getting a little progress, I get kicked back 2 steps.
Yep.
Make a little progress, get back a couple steps.
It's been pretty decent up here. It's been like high 30s, very low 40s, but this week coming is supposed to be in the early 50s, so
cool. Hey, Peeper. Hey, Nachos.
You get to see the chat before I do. I'm on the live stream.
Yeah, I got a YouTube chat popped out and overlaid.
Good idea.
The StreamYard, it's I say a good 20, 30 seconds behind on the chat at least.
Yep. Nachos, Peepa.
Hey, Ben Peeps. Ain't seen you in a little while. Been missing y'all. I've been missing pretty much everybody. Like I said, I ain't been too much I've been watching a little bit of YouTube when there's live streams, but just watching videos. I hadn't really been wanting to get on the computer much lately.
There's a guy I've been watching lately. He gets up early in the morning, have my coffee, and I don't know, it surprised me to see him on a couple times this week already. I think he's in the chat. I think his name's Craig.
Cool, Pete. Matt still at work, or is he on his way home?
What are you making, people?
If she's cooking something, you know it's going to be good. Been doing a lot of been on a lot of live streams on coins, Craig. Heck yeah, that's the way to do it. Spaghetti. She made spaghetti last night.
The boys finished it before Matt got home. Oh, you better make some more.
I make spaghetti every now and then, but instead of using hamburger meat, I use deer sausage. Gives it a little bit different flavor, and it tastes good to me. So what's everybody got going on projects? There's Mr. Craig. Let's pop him in there. And let's see. There we go. That's the one I was looking for.
Hey. Over there to Hoover's Corgis and Coins in the morning, hanging out with us over there. Nate was over there this morning. He jumped up on the panel and hung out with everybody. He was out in the wilderness, so that's kind of neat.
Yep.
Hey, Captain.
Good group of people up there.
Yeah, Justin's been over there quite a bit. Just, all around, general fun, highly entertaining, and, pretty open, kind of like everybody in the small engine nation.
Heck yeah. Horse, that's just nasty. That's just nasty, Horse. Ugh.
Yeah, you all know me. I try to show my support on everybody's channel. Everybody's.
Lucky you're stellar, man. You might go to bed early, but you're up to early rise.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Hey, Craig.
4 in the morning.
Craig.
Yeah.
Why you got a picture of my truck on your icon?
Well, that's the Hot Wheels. I could change it,
Hey, I like that. No, put it back to the truck.
We could go that way.
I see you, Captain.
How you doing?
Or we could go this way.
Come on, Captain.
Captain, did you clean out that the old beer out that refrigerator, or did you just leave them in there and just look at them?
I don't drink beer.
Oh, so you just, while you were in the basement, you just looked at it like, no, we ain't messing with that.
That's my favorite.
You leapfrogs with the spiders.
What's up, Lucky? How you doing, Craig? Thanks for having me up.
Hey, brother.
Jay? Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of floating in and out today.
Captain, I love your flag on the back on your wall back there, giving everybody, letting them know they're your number one.
Yeah, buddy. No, actually, that's for my neighbors, letting me know how they feel.
Mm.
I thought that was your candlestick. If you lean over just a little bit more to the right.
But little less, right there. You're a unicorn.
Like
He's a unicorn.
You don't be playing leapfrog with Captain tonight. You might get stuck.
I get this thing on my desk all the time. So I guess me and this guy kind of twins now.
Something like that. Hey, Puller.
Hey, Ed.
Oh, did y'all watch that video I linked in the family box? Where the
I
guy
haven't been in the family box yet today.
No, I haven't either.
I think I've done it yet. I think I posted it either last night or yesterday or something. It's a video I found where he took the guy takes a single cylinder old cast iron air compressor and turns it into a 4-stroke running engine.
Nice.
It is wild.
Oh, that did come up in the suggested videos when I was watching somebody earlier. Yes, that did. Yeah. Okay. So
Had a blue body with a silver cylinder head on top of it.
yeah.
That thing is awesome. That dude took that compressor and I took it off and found a 70cc Chinese pit bike motor or whatever. Found the cylinder head and it just about matched up perfect on top. He just had to re-drill and tap the holes on the cast iron compressor.
Cool.
And bolted it up, and then made all his little things for the timing chain and all that. It was wild, but it's cool.
Nice.
Awesome.
Puller, there's a thing on the there's a link in the box and all for you to join us if you want to. Just got a text from Nate. He ain't home, but he'll be on shortly.
Nice.
Tell him thanks for the warning.
I seen that and I'm like, man, I know where a bunch of old compressors are that, don't work no more, but the piston's still good in them and all that stuff. I was like, that'd be a heck of a thing to turn one into a little 4-stroke motor and all, and then put it on like a mini bike or a go-kart or something for something different.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That would be wild. Then I seen Stacy's video about the aluminum, the old lawnmower motors and all, and I started thinking, I said, I've seen tons of them being just thrown away because they don't run and all. I said, that's a lot of aluminum.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I might have to start hitting some of these dumpsters and all, see if I can find them old motors and I'll strip them down and then figure out some way of melting them down into blocks like Stacy does.
You know what my say is? If it's for free, it's for me.
Pretty much. That's how I got my bad boy.
Yep.
You got to figure out ways of doing stuff cheaper when you ain't got a lot of cash in hand.
Matter of fact, I got something, 2 boxes of lawnmower parts delivered today from one of our other locations. Somebody dropped it off. And
cool.
There's 2 things in there I'm going to send down to Nate. Maybe he could use them on one of his builds.
Sweet.
The Barons, the ones that he usually buys, the ones that bolt up to the frames, the 1-inch Barons that you put the bolt through it. Yeah. Carriage Barons, I think they're called or something.
Carrier Barons?
Yeah, Carrier Barons.
Yeah.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
I'll send those down to him. I got a whole bunch of stuff I've been sending out, or still getting ready to send out. It's just every time I turn around, I open up the box and I say, well, I got to retape it.
That never happens ever.
Yeah.
We've been having a lot of stuff where we've had to wrap boxes because of, it'll have a label on the outside or something, and we just been having to wrap them or put them in like recycled Amazon bags and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
We sent out probably 15 packages yesterday.
What's going on, Tampa?
Hey, Tampa, how you doing? Kathy did her 500 sub giveaway.
Yeah, I missed that.
Packages going everywhere.
Alice is daggum busy. I plumb missed it. So,
what's up, Tampa? How you doing?
I don't know who won what or whatever.
What's going on, Tampa?
Stacy dropped 2 videos today.
Yep. I didn't see the second one yet. I watched the first one, though.
I haven't got to watch either one. I've been dealing with other stuff, so never a dull moment.
That Tampa came up on my live stream today for a little bit.
Yep, he's a new one in the community.
Yep.
He's getting off the ground and rocking and rolling.
Heck yeah.
So it's nice to have some fresh air into the group.
I saw part of Stacy's about melting the aluminum Kohler motor, and I watched all the one about the fuel tank for his race mower.
Yeah, he's been back and forth on that for quite a while, and now that he's got an ability to get his hands on it regular, he's wanting to get it down off the table and get it wrapped up so that he can get on to another project that he's been wanting to do. So,
oh, before I forget, Ed, I did look at some tires. I do have 2 in stock. They're regular turf tires. What they call chainsaw ridge. They're not smoothies, but they have a little turf grade on it. I don't know if you would want those. They're used. They hold air.
The saw bladed ones, that's the ones that's kind of they're not really a street tire, but they're not really an off-road tire either. They got a little bit of a funny pattern on them for rough terrain, right?
Exactly. But he was talking about doing a burnout with his tractor once it gets all done.
Oh, yeah, that's
I told him don't eat some tires, but he wants to get special ones, so.
well, I don't think he wants to use his pulling tires to do the burnout with.
Hey, Puller, what size rim is on? Can you mount on the back of your tractor and all for doing the burnout? Hey, Matt, what's going on, brother?
Hey,
What's up,
Matt. Good to see you, brother.
Hey, Robert. Welcome to the panel. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
What's going on, Matt?
Right.
I have my camera off, so I don't have to show what Jay watch me eat ice cream.
Well, you got a cow lick or something?
Yeah.
No, he's eating ice cream and not sharing with none of us. He's being rude.
That's fine.
That's all right. I'm eating a navel orange, and man, these things are sweet as all get out.
Yeah, Robert got his summer haircut in the middle of winter. So
That ain't a summer haircut. That's a normal haircut.
I was thinking about it, man. Really. I was thinking about it because
Ain't gonna be much longer. I'm gonna have to skin this thing down again because it's getting to where it's touching my ears. Got to go.
yeah, mine's
What'd you say, Brandon?
Mine's at the dork stage where it doesn't look good no matter what I do with it. So even if I throw a hat on it, I'm like, man, this sucks. So it's the dork stage.
And there's our brother Ed.
hey,
What's up,
Brandon.
buddy?
I went through my channel settings the other day, and that the thing I have here, that's hiding my face. That's my new channel icon, my avatar.
Hey, Brandon.
Yep.
How you doing?
I updated it to my actual own picture, not like one of my own pictures, not one off the internet.
Hey Ed, what size rim can you run on the back of your pull tractor?
Rim, 12 by 12.
12 by 12.
With a 7-inch back, with a 6 or a 7-inch back spacing.
I thought you might have been running a 14-inch rim or something. I was going to say, with something like that, you could probably throw some just little small street tires on there off of a little car or something to do the burnout with.
I heard Lucky saying something about some tires, but I was messing with my mic and stuff. And speaker.
And I did look for that size. I do have 2 used tires. They do hold air. I told you I could be able to get them if you really want them to do that burnout. But if you're not really sure that you're going to do it, I'll save my money on shipping.
Shoot me a message or Lucky on what the shipping and stuff would be. We'll work something out.
All right, let's see. I'll take a picture of them before I do that, though.
Okay, yeah, that'll work.
Hey, Jet Wash, how you doing?
Hey, Jet.
Long time no see, buddy.
Oh, man.
Yeah, one of our
Do what, Greg?
One of our coin community people has got a Toro that he's going to do some work on, and I told him he'd head over and hang out with us, and we could get him some help on doing the tune-up adjustments and whatnot on that thing.
Yeah. Between all the people we got in Small Engine Nation, I'm pretty sure we can find somebody that can help him out with that problem.
Yeah, well, Toros are pretty common. So
yeah.
he thinks it needs a good carburetor flush and a few other odds and ends. So
yeah, I got a Toro. I think it's it had a 32-inch deck on it with an 8-horse electric start. I took the deck off of it, and I got to finish stripping it down and take the motor off and just finish tearing it down to nothing to get it out the way. It was free gift to me.
See, Jay, Craig showing Rolly be having a picture of your truck up there as his icon.
Yep. I like looking at that truck.
That's a Matchbox.
No, that's a truck.
That thing needs a Cummins.
No, that thing needs to be left just like it is because it's a classic.
It needs a 12-valve Cummins, damn it.
Actually, if you're going to put anything in there, put a 4BT with a twin turbo.
Somebody told me to put a Coyote in it the other day.
You'd have to cut the side fenders and all that. No, if I was going to do anything, I'd put that 4BT Cummins out of a forklift, that little 4-cylinder twin turbo with a automatic transmission.
4BT would squeeze right in there.
Yep.
You know, what you could really put in there is me.
Have you actually
get in and out of that thing, Justin?
Captain, have you ever really stood beside one of those trucks? They are tiny. That's basically a go-kart on wheels. Mm-hmm.
I understand. I've stood next to probably 100 of them things over the years.
I would never fit in it, but I'd love to be able to.
Well, even if you were the only one in it?
Yeah, them things are tiny inside the cab. You got to modify them for a big person to get in there.
Okay.
You got to turn your feet sideways just to get them between the seat and the door. There's literally only about 4 or 5 inches between the seat and the door jamb itself.
If you actually go back and look at the thing from back when those vehicles were made, the average height of a person and all that to what they are now, the average height of a person back then was just a little over 5 foot.
Well, for a woman, maybe.
No, for a man.
Yeah.
No, men back then were similar height to us now. Not as tall, no, but similar. Like the average height probably for a man was probably like 5'6". No, probably like 5'6". You know, they say that the men were like 5 feet tall back in Roman times. That's just complete BS. There's no validity to that whatsoever. They were like 5'6", 5'7", like in average height. The big ones got like 5'10", 6 foot maybe, and then the monsters got like 6'2", 6'3". But no, like they're normal height. Like people back in the Civil War times, they were just as tall as you and I. The reason that they had the little short beds in the barracks is because they slept propped up against their bags with their legs straight out in front of them. That's why the beds were so short. It was for
Brandon.
preparedness.
Brandon, that reminds me. I'd like to find a Nash. I'd like to find a Nash Metropolitan.
I'm sorry. I just that last one I was talking about. I just found that ridiculous. They said, "Oh, the Civil War soldiers were only like 5'2". I'm like, come on, that's nonsense.
Matt, thanks for that. Jet, we ain't gonna have that in chat, man. Please, none of that.
No mas.
I just saw that right before it disappeared. So, but yeah.
Hey, Craig, if we're going to ruin that truck, we might as well just go with like an 800 cubic inch mountain motor and, big old blower and NOS and, just go all out with it.
I like it with the straight four and flathead four. But
yeah, but I'm saying, we're going to swap motors and ruin it.
Actually, what would be cool is to find a body that's just like that, but not maybe is not in as good a shape. Just a body and maybe a rolling chassis, and find a late 40s, early 50s model flathead 8, and put the triple Strombergs on it and all that, and set in there with like a 5-speed transmission bolted up behind it. That would be cool.
Oh yeah.
Not in that. Would be cool would be to build another one with a rat rod V8 style.
That's what I'm talking about. Find another body like it and put a flathead 8 in it with a 5-speed.
Put a trailer on the back of that thing and put that on the back of the trailer.
That would be nice.
Have them matching, same color scheme,
yeah,
all that.
Well, basically, about like that guy did with he had a 50 between a 53 and a 55 F650 COE, and then on the back he had like a 53 to 55 model Ford F100 built stacked on the back of it. Because I was like, yeah, I want to copy what he done because I got a 54 F100.
Hey, Votia, how you doing?
And they were painted a gold color. They were cool looking.
That's what I want someday, right there. On Lincoln Weldon Power 150.
Well, that's nifty.
Oh, I thought you wanted a lawnmower. That's a welder.
Yeah, it's got a Kohler. A lot of them use the Kohler K series and cast iron Briggs motors.
Yeah.
They used to make tugger tractors like that, Robert.
Walk behind.
Yeah, walk behind tractors. You put your implement on it, and you'd be on the implement behind the tractor.
Yeah, I know. I used to have a walk behind tractor. We used to have walk behind tractors, and we got rid of all of ours.
Jetwash, you're not in a wrong place. Don't worry, man. You're okay. Just PG. That's all.
A buddy of mine had one of them walk behind, basically like zero turn, but it was self-powered and all. He hooked up off the back of it, a bar come back with a pivot point, and had built him a little platform to stand on with 2 wheels, and he would actually basically stand on them 2 wheels, almost like a one of them, what they call them. I don't know. It just looked like 2 wheels off the side with a platform in the center. He stood on it, had a bar went up that pivoted in the middle, that hooked to the back of the mower, and he would steer and ride that thing around while he mowed. I'm like, that wasn't factory. He said, no, I built it, and he showed me how he done it, and it was pretty cool looking.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing about everything. You know, there's the only limitation is materials and your ability to make things work.
Yeah.
And we took a 4-cylinder out of an S10 pickup one time and put it in a Buick car. Everybody said, "Oh, you can't do that. It won't work. Heads are different."
That's
pulled
not
the screw plug out of the back end of the head and just flipped everything around on it.
We took when we were younger, me and my father. Well, when me and my brothers were younger, and my father, he picked up this Ford Mustang, 88 Ford Mustang, and had 5.0 in it. It was total, but the engine was good, so we took the engine out and put it in my father's Ford Pinto.
Oh, heck yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I bet you that thing would fly.
Oh, it flew.
We also took an 86 Dodge Caravan that had balancing shafts in the block. Had a 2.5 liter in it. And we pulled that 2.5 liter with the balancing shafts out. We took an old Plymouth Horizon that had the 2.2 liter engine, bolted right up to the transmission and made that van go.
Oh, heck yeah.
Everybody's like, "Oh, that won't work. That won't work." You can't get that engine to run in there.
A Plymouth Voyager is like a Plymouth Horizon with cargo space.
Yep. Well, about like a buddy of mine had a I can't remember if it's an S10 or a little GMC Sonoma extended cab. The motor in it messed up, and they pulled it out and put a 2.8 liter turbo Buick motor down in it.
Oh, jeez.
Out of a car. I think it was a 2.8 liter or something like that.
If it was one of the turbo Regal motors, then it was probably a 3.8.
It might have been a 3.8, but it was a little V6 and it was turboed.
Yeah,
they slid it right down in there, hooked it up, and that little truck runs good.
231 CID.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yep, that's the 3.8.
Oh, it's a 3.8. I was thinking it was 2.8.
That's all right.
But it tripped
Brandon,
me out when you lift the hood and it's got a Buick motor sitting in a GMC. I'm sitting there like, cool.
You can get slug rounds for that musket, Brandon. They come with a plastic sleeve on them. You put your powder in there, your wad, you pack it all in there, and it'll rifle out a slug.
All right, guys, it's 7:30. I'm gonna log off on the panel. I'm gonna go into the chat. I'll be listening this way. Other people can get into the panel if they want to.
All right, good. Appreciate you coming up and hanging out with us, man.
No problem.
You're a great dude, Lucky man.
All right, we'll catch you guys in the chat.
All right, man.
That's it. All I've done for like the past 2 days for about an hour and a half is arc weld. Just sit there and arc weld.
Get your practice, man. Go ahead.
Muzzle loaders, huh, Brandon? I got a muzzle loader, but I kind of took the stock that was on it off and built my own stock for it.
All right, Jet Wash. We'll see you, buddy. Hey, say hi to Moose Knuckle for me.
Have a good one, Jet.
The beads aren't the prettiest, but they're functional.
Hey, you learning? Take you a little longer.
There's some nice scratching.
Nice.
These other ones got covered in slag dust, but
yeah, biggest thing about arc welding is just make sure you're pushing your puddle when you're going.
Yeah, that's what I do. I always push the puddle.
Arc welding?
Yep.
You get that rod in that puddle and you just work little circles and just slowly walk it. Just keep working it. Small circles.
What I do when I'm arc welding is I drag down a little bit, then push back to feed the puddle back in. Drag down and push back in.
Do small circles and you'll see a difference in your welding. It won't have that stringy look. It'll have like a row of coins.
Yep.
Yeah, some of my beads actually look like a roll of coins when I do it the way I do it. Usually I can get them to turn out pretty good.
You got anybody there helping you instruct you on welding, or are you just practicing?
Just practicing. Self-taught.
if you can do vertical weld uphill, you're doing really well with an arc welder.
That's right, Matt. It's got to look like a stack of dimes. Especially if you TIG welding. Oh, I love TIG welding.
I know a guy that's a prolific TIG welder. He's been doing it for like, I don't know, a better part of 40 years. His name is Texas Viking. That guy is a nutty welder. Man, he does some cool stuff.
I'm ready to get back to doing some welding and all. I'm going to try to talk my uncle out of one of his arc welders. He's got probably 4 or 5 of them laying around. I'm going to see if he'll let me talk him out of letting me use one.
I've never welded anything ever.
Huh.
Let's see. I have the only arc welder I have at home is the older Lincoln AC 225 bus box.
I've had a welder. I've actually had a couple over the years. I've just never got to use them.
Gum, man. A stack of silver dollars and add bubble gum. Do I need to make a road trip and come teach you how to weld and then go on up to where Horse is at and instruct him on welding and then make my rounds? Because I did used to do that years ago. I was the assistant night instructor out of college for welding for over a year.
I was going to say,
right out a year.
I'm hoping you're getting paid for that.
Well, I did for a little while, and then they didn't have enough students, and had to lay me off. But hey, that was all good. I was doing schoolwork and teaching at the same time. I love welding.
Yeah,
I'm sure I would
like
love
welding
it too.
I like it as a hobby. I just don't know if I could do it as a profession every day.
I'll tell you this: if I had a yard to work in, I could make some freaking, some sculptures.
What'd you say, Boneyard?
Hey,
What's up, Boneyard? How you doing? Hey, Peeper Don, what's up? I didn't even see you in there. How you doing?
That's something I thought about doing, Brandon. Different ones asked me about if I would consider it, and I told them I probably would. But sometimes when you do welding repairs and stuff, you have to watch what you're doing, or else you could get in trouble with doing it. I mean, you fix something and then it tears up again, and they expect you to fix it for free when it was their fault when they done something, or there's all kinds of situations you can get into. That's the reason I was kind of leery about doing a whole lot of weld repairs and all.
No worries, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm just messing around, Jay. I can lay a bead.
Stick or MIG?
Both. Gas.
Heliarc?
Well, as much sparkling ice as I drank, they need to start sponsoring me.
I like acetylene welding.
Yeah, the only thing I haven't done is TIG welding.
What do you do? What are you drinking, Brandon? I mean, not Brandon. Cheapers. Robert. Sorry.
Sparkling ice. And so, as much sparkling ice as I drink, they need to sponsor me.
It's basically flavored water with seltzer in it.
Yeah, don't get yourself a kidney stone, please.
Yeah.
It's way healthier than pop is, that's for sure.
That's what they tell you.
Zero sugar.
One of the most fun things we did when I was out there teaching people how to weld is I'd give them that acetylene welding tip. I say, here, hook this up. And they'd hook it up and all. They said, all right, what we doing? I said, you're fixing to learn to weld. With a cutting torch? I'm like, that's not a cutting torch. Look at the tip. Do you see the multi-port head on it? They're like, no, it's a single. You're welding. They're like, how do you weld with a torch? I am going to instruct you.
I tried doing that the other day. I tried actually acetylene welding.
You may laugh, Jay, but I have brazed with a cutting torch.
It can be done, but it is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, but it was a kind of a half-use fixed thing, and they didn't have a brazing tip.
Yeah.
And so we did her.
What's fun is when you have to weld two pieces of metal together and there's a 1/16 of an inch gap with a acetylene welder. And they're like, well, how are you going to do that? I found a piece of brass and laid underneath it. I said, watch. I went to walking it side to side until I got them both, and they just kind of filled into each other. And then I went back over the top up with a brazing rod.
Okay, I've done a lot of
weld.
Do what?
Like that. You got to preheat the metal and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of brazing, and I've done a lot of gas welding with steel filler rods.
I've done a lot of soldering.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of coat hanger welding with acetylene.
I don't like using the coat hangers because of that coating and all that's on them. It always.
I tried brazing the other day. I tried some brazing the other day. It didn't turn out too hot, but I tried.
Brazing is very ticky if you ain't got the right flux and all to go on there to make them bond together. Or if you're not using the right brazing rod.
Matt, you're right. Everybody should learn how to weld with a coat hanger and an acetylene torch.
Yeah.
I did that for years until my brother finally got a BuzzBox stick welder.
Yeah.
And then
maybe there isn't the prettiest, but I tried, so at least I tried it.
Yeah. Practice makes perfect.
I didn't get a MIG welder or access to a MIG welder until I was probably in my early 20s. So
hey Matt, you're lucky you got the opportunity to see the lead body work on that El Camino.
That laughing about that lead work on cars, a dying art.
No, I love the lead art. I love the lead body work. I'm not freaking laughing because I think it's ridiculous. I love it. I'm laughing because I love it. I just thought it was. It just tickled me when he took the paint off. He's like, "What's that?" I'm like, "That's lead."
Lead feeling the seams. There's very few people in the world that knows how to lay the lead properly anymore.
I've got a kerosene burner and a kerosene torch to do lead filler work with.
There's some old timers out there that still know, but there's soldering irons that are like 2 feet long. They'll go and heat that thing up and do your body work for you.
I had one of those too, and a 1-inch tip on it. Somebody stole it when they stole all my tools.
Dadgummit, I can't remember the guy's name now. He's an older guy that used to do custom work and all, and he always did Frenched in antennas on the side of old Mercs and stuff, and he Frenched in headlights and all that, and he done it all with lead. He always had a big cigar hanging out of his mouth, and he'd use a torch, a big old long, it looked like a wooden dowel rod, but it was a bar of lead. And he'd take a brush and brush on the flux, and he's heating. He's working it in there, and it looks rough at first. Then you see him with a wooden kind of like a body spoon, but it was wood. And as he was heating it up, he'd start rubbing it and moving it and all. And next thing you know, that stuff is looking slick.
Yeah.
All you got to do about sandpaper and clean it up.
I think that guy was on Monster Garage and on both.
Yep.
Yeah, he was on both of that, but I'm trying to remember his name. And when he was on Monster Garage and all that, he was in his 80s then.
Yep.
Maybe.
A lot of those. You know what the best part about torch welding is when I used gloves. I used gloves when I was doing the torch welding. I was using nice thick welding gloves. Best part about it is when the filler rod starts getting short and your hands start getting nice and toasty.
What do you say, Custom? How's it going?
Eric 83, how you doing?
That's where I'm different than most people. A lot of people wear thick gloves when they weld and all. not me. I like using TIG gloves. It's real thin because I can feel what I'm doing as I'm working it. Because I got nerve damage in my hands and all. It's hard for me to feel stuff with any kind of real thick glove, and I can't tell what I'm really doing.
Tampa, what's up? How you doing?
The only reason I wear a thicker glove when I'm MIG welding and all is because that's where I prop the tip and all, and I don't want to burn the back of my hand and all while I'm propped up welding. But if you see me TIG welding or acetylene welding or any of that stuff, I'm wearing TIG gloves real thin so I can feel what I'm doing. That can happen. You'll go through a lot of gloves, trust me.
Well, my favorite pair of welding gloves at work, about 2 years ago, somebody grabbed them up because they were doing snow removal and forgot their gloves and took my good welding gloves.
Ouch.
They were the good heavy leather ones. They come from Cornwell.
Oh, yeah.
They were broken and soft, and I could, you could move in them.
You can feel what you're doing with them.
You talk about a pissed off individual when I got back to the shop.
Well, if nothing else, you put them gloves on your feet like Nate does.
They had ice melt soaked through them. They got so stiff that they even tried washing them and they wouldn't even come back.
The one bad thing about the leather they use in welding gloves and all, if they ever get wet and then dry and get hard, you're not going to soften it back up to where they do like they used to. What do you say, Nate?
Hey, Nate.
Yep, I remember that day he was welding and he put the welding gloves on his feet.
Yep.
I can't say nothing. I have them plastic slip-on Crocs, almost like a Croc, but the toes open. It's just got a strap that goes across it. It's the same kind of material as Crocs, but it's just got the wide band that goes across the top of your foot. I wear them outside all the time when I'm welding. You got to watch where you put your feet, though, when you do that.
I was welding a pair of ripped up jeans, and he wasn't paying attention. He had a flame going up his shirt.
I did it with
what up, Johnny? I've welded in shorts and a t-shirt before.
Hey, Johnny Garage, what's up, buddy?
Hello. When I was arc welding earlier today, one of the sparks from the metal flew back and got in my welding glove. Ooh, son, that hurt. It was rather toasty.
No, you want to feel pain? I was doing the 1-inch open V-joint weld tests, 1/8 inch wide gap overhead. I got my leather welding jacket on and buttoned down and then taped the seam and all. Had my gloves up over the sleeve of the jacket and then taped on. I had the chaps over my legs and all. And I'm sitting there, I'm good. I'm covered. Do my 60-10 root pass, no problem. Come back, start doing my 70-10s and doing the cap. And all of a sudden, a big, huge chunk of slag falls out, hits the tape, burns through it, goes under the jacket, rolls down my belly, over my pants, under my chaps, hit my pant, went through my denim, and rolled down my leg to the top of my shin and stopped and started burning into it. Oh, man, you would have seen me trying to come out of all that stuff that was taped up and all that while on fire. If we could have got a video of that, it would have went viral and everybody been laughing their butt off.
One of the worst ones I had, I was welding overhead, but I didn't have all the safety gear on. It dropped down in my ear.
Ooh.
It laid down in my ear.
That hurts.
My helmet was fine. I was beaten. Yeah.
Welding splatter pop into your eye.
I've caught myself on fire before, and come out of that welding booth, start stripping clothes off. Then the instructor come out, what in the world is wrong? I'm like, I'm on fire, and you see smoke rising.
Hey, I was welding when I was younger at home with a flannel shirt on. You know how fuzzy they are?
Yeah.
I didn't know I was on fire until my brother put me out.
Dadgum. Now, what's bad is when you're welding and you smell smoke and you stop welding and you still smell smoke. You're like, that don't smell like welding smoke. And you look down and your hair's on fire. That's the reason I'm like this now. I used to have long hair. It went all the way to my belt.
Well, I thought my brother was messing with me. You know, trying to hit my arm, make me mess up welding.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was like burning up my arm and up my back.
Wow.
Yeah. Usually when I'm outside welding, I usually have on steel-toed shoes or the leather work boots.
Nah, tennis shoes is all I wear.
Then I wear jeans and a welding jacket.
Hey, I wear steel-toed boots at work all the time, but I wear shorts in the summertime, and I've had them drop down in behind flag, drop down in the toe of my boot.
Usually the leather work boots are steel-toed shoes, jeans, and a welding jacket.
Hey, Nate, you want to get on the panel? I got the link in the hangout box if you want to get up on the panel with us, brother.
Only one spot left.
Yep.
Real estate's hot on the stream.
Did you ever watch Wild Eyed Northern Boy? That's
Tommy
why
Shoe.
there's a cover on his beard. When he's welding stuff to keep it from catching fire.
That's Tommy Shoe. I know Tommy.
I just tuck mine in.
Tommy's been, he was one of the original, he was one of the people that started up the Garage Gang, like way back. Him and BW Darren and a few other people started up the Garage Gang way back. There was like 6 or 7 people that started it, like freaking, it's close to a decade ago.
There's one thing I'm going to do. I got several welding hoods out there, and I'm going to take one, I'm going to modify it for getting up under places that's tight and all. The one problem I have is trying to lift it up to see where I got to get to and then flip it back down without it hitting stuff. I seen a guy do this one time because I used the big shield welding hood so I can see at it. Them little tiny ones like that, I feel my view is obstructed real easy with those. So what he done is he took the helmet and he cut the bottom part of the plastic off, probably about 3/4 of an inch below the bottom of the actual lens, and took a wide strip of thick leather and pop riveted it to it so it would flex. He could lift it up, do what he got to do, and then pull it back down and it wouldn't catch on stuff. And actually, fit tighter and all to where he can get his head up into places to weld. I'm going to try that and see how it works.
Here we go. If you can't pay off the porch, your neighbors are too close.
Pretty much. I used to be able to do that, but now I step out the front door and there's houses all around where I live at now.
Yeah, I've lived in places where, it's actual houses, but yeah, they're like right on top of each other, dude. It's crazy. I didn't like living in that neighborhood.
I've been on this same property since '86, and when we moved onto this property, there was only 3 other trailers on this whole road, and now there's a ton of them. What you say, Sam? How's it going?
Hey, Sam. What's up, bud?
Yeah, my neighbors aren't that far away. I still pee off my back porch. If they have a problem with it, they kiss my ass. I pay the mortgage on this bastard.
They're not going to go over and tell you not to do it. Not more than once, anyway.
That's just when you say, this is my property, I'll do what I please on it.
Okay.
Well, some places, don't matter if it's your property or not, if you're indecent, you're still going to get a ticket.
Yeah, in violation of the penal code
on
of the
the
United
area.
States of America.
It depends if you're in a rural area or in a city area.
It just depends on the area.
Yeah.
You can be in a city. You can be in a city and fuck naked on your back porch, and they can't do anything about it because it's your private property. Now, if you go out on the sidewalk where it's public, they can do something about it.
Huh?
You can sit on your front porch buck ass naked.
What'd you say, Mudster?
It's your religion.
Mudster, how you doing?
In the state of Kansas, women are not required to wear shirts. It's perfectly legal. If they want to walk down the sidewalk with their glory hanging out, they're more than welcome to.
Girls, girls, girls.
I don't mind if they do that.
If you're doing something to incite an accident, you could be charged with being illicit. But as long as you're minding your own business and you're not inciting an accident, and they won't say a word to you about it.
Like Mudster said, he lives next to a little league field. It probably wouldn't be a good idea for him to step out on the porch and pee.
Well, considering I live in an apartment building and I don't really have a front porch per se.
You got a balcony?
No.
You ain't even got a balcony?
Nope. I don't have any private entrance to this freaking this apartment at all.
Huh.
They call it a condo, and it's only because they allow you to buy them. Otherwise,
it's a glorified apartment.
It's just an efficiency. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a small one too. It's not very big at all.
It's like when they call a loftus. It's a warehouse, dude.
Pretty much.
Well, no. Hold on. A loft is one of them ones where
it's open.
It's got a bedroom that doesn't have. It's missing one wall upstairs. That's what a loft is, essentially. You're thinking of a studio.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, a studio.
It's a glorified warehouse that you live in.
It's a freaking warehouse, yeah.
Well, that can be considered to be a studio, yeah. But studio apartments are usually just like one room and then there's a bathroom.
Yep, he lives in a glorified climate-controlled storage unit.
Yeah, essentially. I've lived in studios. I've lived in efficiencies.
That one's been floating around for a while.
And like I said, I've been poor my whole life, so everywhere I lived is cheap and small usually. So
that's about the truth of it, there, Horse.
It's been floating around on the internet for a while now.
Yep.
Some of those studio apartments aren't cheap though.
Yeah, because hipsters like to freaking pay like $1,200 a month to live in them.
Yeah.
I'm like,
but that's when you store it and run a garage.
Now, my rent just doubled. Come on, hipsters, get it together, dudes. Okay, yeah, you like to live in tiny little crappy apartments. Well, guess what? I used to not be able to afford anything else. Now it's looking like I might be able to afford a house more than I can afford a freaking one-bedroom crappy apartment.
Pretty much.
Like, what the hell?
Probably be a lot happier too in a house.
I don't want to live in an apartment of any kind. I don't even want to live in a duplex.
You want to live in a shop with a bed and
I just want to live in a house where I don't have neighbors living above me or below me or freaking right on my elbow.
Hey, Sam.
He wants to shop so he can have an arc welder and try not to barbecue himself with it.
How'd you clean the carburetor? Did you take the carburetor apart and clean it, or did you just spray a little carb cleaner through it while it was running? The needle could be getting, or the jet could be getting clogged.
Yeah, the orifice might be plugged up.
Yeah. Is it surging real bad when it idles, Sam? Or does it just idle normal and then when you hit the throttle, it shuts off?
I'll tell you what, I got nailed by a plasma cutter before. That was not fun.
By a what?
I got nailed by a plasma cutter once because my dad was cutting some steel with it, so I had to hold one side down so the steel wouldn't go off the table, and I had to hold the other side. The ground clamp happened to be on the other side, so I was he was cutting it. I was holding on to it when he was cutting it. I didn't get hit. As soon as he stopped cutting and let off, ground shot through me. It made me like stop for a second, and then
Yeah, you got some trash up in the orifice tube or the jet. It sounds like.
that was not a fun experience. Getting it didn't do to me when he was cutting. It's just as soon as he let off, it was like bam.
Because it sounds like when it's idling, it don't move, but as soon as you hit the throttle and it has to push more gas, it plugs the hole and shuts it down. I remember that because Musty One was dealing with that problem, and he had to tear the carburetor completely down, and he soaked it. He did it through the ultrasonic cleaner and all overnight, and then rebuilt the carb, and it cleared up the problem. But it was in the jet and the orifice tube, I think, if I remember right. I tell you, the worst experience I had with welding.
Was this Space Ghost?
And it was
no,
that was Pink Panther. But I was working at a machine shop and all, and they were building these pieces, and they had this big, huge piece of thick plastic had to be attached to this plate for a skid for it to slide on. And they were taking these washers that was cupped, and that piece of 3/4 inch plastic had countersinks in it, and you had to put that washer in there and weld the center of the washer to the plate underneath it to hold it. And they had the welder set up DC and told me, said, all right, I need you to start welding up all these washers to hold this plate on. I'm like, okay, no problem. It was hot, so I didn't want to put my jacket and all on, so I'm short sleeve shirt, just got my gloves on. I'm propped on the table, sitting there welding, wasn't paying attention. Didn't realize there was a hole in the finger of my glove, and I'm holding the welding rod, and I'm burning through the first few and all. Then I prop up to get ready for the next one, and my finger was right there holding the rod was rubbing up against it. As soon as I hit that arc, my teeth felt like they had about an inch of cotton on them. My mouth tasted copper. It was just dry, powdery feeling in my mouth. I mean, every hair on my body stood on end. I'm saying like, okay, that's no good. I quit. I'm done. My boss come by and asked me what happened. I told him. He busted out laughing. He said, go get you a soda, sit down for a little bit, and then come back and finish. He said, next time, put on a new pair of gloves. Like, you ass.
Here you go. Here's another good one. I don't know how to act my age. I've never been this old before.
I agree with that.
Fair enough. Oh, I'm gonna be in let's see. Hang on. It's a little over 5 weeks. I'm gonna be 45.
I turned 45 in December.
I know.
Puppies.
Hey, Sam, is that the motor that you did all the work to? Did you put you rebuilt the whole thing, or is it it's a brand new motor? Because if it's a built motor with a bigger cam and all that in it, and heavier springs and all that stuff, yeah, you probably need to jet the carb.
Might have some Cosmoline oil in it. With
That
one of those Harbor Freight engines.
Yeah, but when I was having issues with my tractor, it would sit and idle, but as soon as you hit the gas, it would burp once and die out, and that it was all the spark.
Yeah.
Spark wasn't strong enough to fire the fuel, so it was just like flooding out.
That's the point too.
If the gap's wrong on the spark plug or the coil's weak, it could very well be that too.
Well, if the coil's not gapped right, it could be out of reach.
You talking about the between the coil and the flywheel gaps properly? Yeah.
And some of that stuff can move in shipping too. So
I had an older guy that used to work on small engines all the time. Said the best way to gap one of them coils is the old fold over top matchbook covers. He said tear a piece of it off or get you a business card and slide in there. Put the coil up against it, snug it down, roll the flywheel until it pushes the card out, and then tighten it the rest of the way down. He said you'll be the perfect gap to make the spark right.
Matchbook, cereal box, something of that same color board thickness.
Business card.
I used to use the business card, let it snap up against the magnet, snug it down like you said, Jay, let it roll out, snug it, then adjust it from there with feeler gauges to get it where you need it.
Yep. Just like setting points on the old vehicle.
Yep.
Matchbook cover was the closest thing to do to get it close to where you needed it at to get you to where you can fix it right. Oh, you just put a flywheel and a Mikuni carb on it? That the magnet and the flywheel could be not that good, causing it to have weak spark.
Yeah, I would definitely check the carburetor and check the spark.
Yeah. If you put too big of a carb on there, it could be flooding out.
Especially if it's one of the Mikunis, can't you adjust the needle on them height wise? There
should be an air fuel mixture and all that on it.
Yeah, but on the throttle cable itself, ain't there a way to adjust it up and down for?
If it's the style like the old dirt bikes and all, it's got pinpoint adjustments on it.
Right. I've never messed with those, so I don't know exactly how they work.
You talking about the flat slide Mikunis?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got that adjustment pin on there where you can adjust the slide point on it. And the needle.
Yeah. That's a good point too, Muds, to what size carb is it? You may be flooding it out right off the bat.
Yeah. If it's a bone stock 212 Hemi, if you put a 32 or something light on there, that's too much carb.
Yeah.
You shouldn't need but a 24 or 26 millimeter at the most for a stock motor. Put the 22 on there and try it and see if that changes anything.
Yeah, dual carb.
That's what I thought about doing to that 14 horse I got, is putting dual carbs like off a Predator 212. That style carb, put two of them on there and run dual carburetors. But then I'd have to figure out some way to adjust each one to where they flowing like hitting the same way.
Yeah, without actually hearing it running, see how it's falling on its face, whether it's flooding out or starving for fuel. It's kind of hard to say which way it needs to go.
Yeah. Yeah, like Brandon said, pull your plug out and check, see if it's black colored or gray colored, to see if it's rich or lean.
Puppy! Horses, puppy.
He can't hear us. Robert's got his headphones in.
Exactly. Puppy don't hear us. Puppy just wants to lay there and be like, all right, I'm laying here, leave me alone.
Like, I need attention. Come on. Get off
Come
that
on,
phone.
Tater.
Attention.
Come on. Tater says, here I come. Come on, Tater. I'm waiting you to pop in the basement. Let's go. Captain, you sound like you're a little tired, brother.
I think I'm going to get off here in a few minutes.
All right. Do what you got to do, brother.
Nate.
There's our Tater.
Nate, we got the puppy.
Oh my goodness. Who's a purest puppy every single time?
She's an American Staffordshire Terrier.
Who'd have had a puppy every single time?
There's our Suey. I'm going to tell you right now, Suey is one of the greatest dogs I ever met. She growls at you when you first come up to you. She smells you and lets you pet her a couple times. Then she follows you everywhere, wanting to sit in your lap.
Probably just so she can fart on you.
Yeah.
Sue must be feeling better. She's got her blanket.
Yep.
She's feeling a lot better. You should see her toe. It's down to a mere, looks like a fire ant bite now.
Okay.
Hey, Stewie, want to go for a ride in the cart? Stewie, going to ride?
You want to go on the go-kart?
Come on. You got to do it like this.
Oh, we have royalty. 1 second. Royalty has arrived.
Oh, listen, what's up?
Look at there. What's up, brother?
I ain't a
There's Stacy.
Look at that handsome devil.
There's Stacy.
What's up, guy?
Not
Who
too
is that
much,
guy?
brother. How you doing?
Somebody just wandered in.
Oh, yeah.
I watched your video on your fuel
Eva.
tank. That is cool.
Liba, say hi to the people.
I'm trying
is
to
real
see what Nate's
Nice
got
people.
going on there.
He's playing with Suey.
Liba, say hi to the people.
Hey, Stacy,
Oh, yeah.
have you done that? Have you done that style fuel tank before with the plastic?
Tape.
Here, I'm gonna see if I can get little Miss Liba here to talk. Liba,
There's two.
what's the
there's
puppy say?
Big Doggy.
There's two.
Liba, what's the puppy say?
There's a little
Oh,
tiny
Liba, what's the
dog.
dog say? Nope, she's not gonna do it. Hang on.
Tape.
Hey,
Oh,
Twisted.
Liba, what's the dog say? What's the dog say, Liba?
Do it now.
She's too tired. She's not gonna. She's too tired. She's not gonna do it. Usually, if you catch her earlier in the day, she'll. When you say "What's the puppy say?" she'll bark.
Hey, Twisted.
Tape. Oh, I don't want that in. Tape. Speak. Speak.
She's like, I ain't
Taco.
paying you no attention.
No.
Liba,
When you
Eva.
said speak, Suey
what's the
barked.
puppy say? Liba, what's the puppy say?
Hey,
What? I think she
Stacy.
might. Liba,
Have
what's
you
the
run
puppy
a
say?
PVC style gas
puppy say?
tank before like that?
All right.
Or is that just a trial thing? Oh, we lost him.
Oh, I got her to whimper. What's the
Ah.
puppy say?
Jay, we're going to get going. Bye, Robert.
Yep.
Bye, Ed. Bye, Nate.
Captain.
Have a good one, Captain.
What's
Later,
the puppy
everybody.
say?
I'll see you another time.
What's
Be
the
good.
puppy
Have
say?
fun, Jay. Good night,
She's
everybody.
not gonna do it. What does the puppy say? Liba, what's the puppy say? She'll whimper. That's about it. What's the
There
puppy
he
say?
is.
Nope. she's
We
not
lost him for a
gonna do it.
second. Welcome back, Stacy.
Wait, do you want to snug?
There he is.
Liba, come here. Liba, you are not listening to me, and I don't like that. This dog of mine is so hard-headed. That's unbelievable. And of course, she's a terrier, so
Yeah.
Tape, get in.
Hey, Stacy.
Yeah.
That PVC like that, have you run a fuel tank like that before?
No.
Well, let me know how it does, because you said the getaway epoxy instead of regular PVC glue, right?
Yeah, I put it together with 5-minute epoxy.
Yeah. Let me know how that works, because I might consider doing a fuel tank like that on mine. Or something similar.
Yeah, I hadn't filled it up with fuel and let it sit yet, but
Because I think the PVC glue, if you use that, I think that gas would slowly eat that PVC glue up to where it would
Yeah.
start leaking.
you can't use the PVC glue. I know that for a fact.
Well, see, I thought about doing one and then get some of that tank liner and line the inside of it with it if it'll hold up to the alcohol.
Well, I don't know about the alcohol, but some of these lawnmower gas tanks are made out of PVC, just not PVC pipe.
Yeah. How would it work for the vent at the top to get one of them check valves that where it's one way it's open, but then if fluid or anything hits it, it caps it off and stops it?
Well, you can use a fuel filter and they'll do the same thing.
Yeah. What is that, Tater?
That's all I'm going to do. Use a fuel filter.
I think it's plastic.
Cracked. It's plastic. It's cracked.
From last night.
Somebody sit on it or something?
No, it's just from the gas we put in it.
Huh.
Johnny picked it up. He's like, yeah, he was like, whoa, it's all cracked.
That is weird.
Yeah. Good to see you, Stacy.
Hey, Stacy.
Oh, Jay, here's another good
Johnny
one.
been riding the hell out of that mower with that exhaust on it.
Here you go. People say, well, this is about feeling, but I think finding a toilet when you are having diarrhea is better.
Could be.
Truth. I think that's all true.
Hey, Stacy, when you first fired that thing up, what was that? It looked like water or something coming out the exhaust. What was that? Just condensation that built up in it from the cold weather?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That thing sounds real good with that exhaust, man. That thing sounds real good.
2 into 1, yeah, it's not real loud. It's not real obnoxious till you really
get into it hard.
Yeah.
It's got a good rumble to it. Just sitting there running, it's got a good sound.
It's like that exhaust I built for Johnny's mower. I mean, it's not real loud till you lay off in it.
Yeah.
Another news: GM's ready to invest $2.2 billion in the Detroit Amtrak plant for 2021 because they're bringing back the Hummer on the GMC truck platform, but it's going to be all electric.
That's stupid.
20 can't complain too much.
No, but electric truck.
Well,
everybody's talking about going electric, but what they don't realize is all the natural gas and all that is being burnt in these plants to produce the electricity to charge their electric vehicle with.
Not to mention the e-waste afterwards.
Yep.
Volvo's coming out with an all-electric truck.
Yeah, I've seen the Volvo truck. That 18-wheeler all-electric.
Yeah, it looked like something off of Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah. But what a lot of them don't realize is when the batteries go bad in them things, there's all the wasting off from the batteries and everything else. And how much is the batteries going to cost to replace it?
Well, the roads in this country ain't going to hold up to it because the truck alone weighs 120,000 pounds.
Good Lord.
The way I look at it, like GM getting those jobs, they get. Yeah, an electric Hummer is kind of stupid, but I think it's kind of cool. But at least the people of Detroit will have something to do now. At least they're bringing a little bit of jobs back to Detroit.
Yeah. Hey, Stacy, I got to ask your opinion on something. You and Puller.
2,200 is a good amount of jobs.
Nate too. My uncle told me he done this on a full size vehicle one time, and I was thinking about doing it for my V-twin and all when I built it. He built out his own exhaust on his truck one time, and he had a big block in it. He built it out of stainless and all, but he built his own mufflers. He took the stainless tube and all, welded the cap on the end, made the bung and all that, and he made baffles in it out of pieces of stainless, but he packed it with stainless steel wool. He pulled it where it was real loose, and he kept working it in there. And he capped the end of it. He'd crank the vehicle up and see what it sounded like. If it didn't have the sound he wanted, he'd open it up and put a little more of that stainless steel wool in there and close it back up and keep it on until he got the sound he wanted. Then he put the cap over it and welded it up.
I've done that. I took a piece of 2-inch pipe.
Yeah.
And drilled a bunch of holes in it.
Yeah.
And then slid a piece of 3-inch over it. And welded the end of it up and packed it full of stainless steel wool.
Yeah.
And welded the other end up and it still sounded good. It didn't get obnoxious till you were at 7,000 RPM. You know.
So we never used the steel wool. We just cut the mufflers, took all the shit out of them, and welded them back together like the cherry bombs. So
It made them louder.
Yeah, just a big flare pipe.
But on like that V-twin or maybe on a V-twin or maybe like the Predator or whatever, it wouldn't have too much back pressure by building a muffler like that with that steel wool, would it?
No.
No,
as long as you don't pack it tight.
Not as long as you leave an open flow to it.
Yeah. Because the way he done it, he said he took the pipe and he built these washers that had holes in it. He put so much wool in there, he slide a washer in there and tack it in place. And he put some more wool, another washer, and all. So when the steel wool slowly started breaking down, it wouldn't just all go flying out the exhaust at one time. But he used that stainless, so that stainless shouldn't wear out that fast, should it?
No.
But that would actually kind of muffle the sound where it have more of a deeper tone without being obnoxiously loud, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to leave an open chamber to it, or you're going to restrict it.
Okay.
But when I get my rat rod done, the exhaust on that's just gonna be an open pipe.
Well, how would it work to
You gotta work Saturday?
put like little small pipes in there with holes drilled in it, and then wrap each one of them with steel wool, and then put the bigger piece over the outside of it, and then cap the ends and all. So it have multiple tubes in there. I wonder how that would sound.
What I did was I just run an open 2-inch pipe and drill holes in it, and all the steel wool was outside of that 2-inch pipe, and the holes allowed the steel wool to absorb the sound, but didn't restrict the flow.
Yeah.
That's old. You don't want to make that shit.
The thing with my nose, I know mine's gonna be a diesel, and I want the open pipe on it so it can breathe and sound nice and healthy.
Well, you know a diesel
Because it's
needs
like
back,
the stainless steel tube I'm running is like 1 7/8".
you know a diesel needs back pressure to perform right. You know
Yeah.
that, right?
This is a small. Well, this is a smaller
Even
one. It's
small
not a
one,
big twin or something.
You still got to have back pressure to start messing up. Any kind of motor actually is better with just a little bit of back pressure.
You got just put your 2 or 3 bends in your pipe, and that'll create back pressure.
Yeah.
It actually has like the way the pipe's set up. It's about this long of a section, but the way it's set up though is right here. It comes around on a curve, so it's not completely straight. It's got a swipe, but it's got a 90-degree radius on it.
That was cleaner.
Yeah, if you put another bend in it and kind of turn it down or turn it up, that'll always use 2 90-degree bends in everything I build.
I'm like Puller, Nate. I like 77. You get 8 more.
Y'all are
I
just
think 100. Once I hit 500 subscribers, I'll probably do a giveaway.
I don't plan on ever hitting 500 subscribers. Just to be honest, I'm not out to build my channel.
Yeah, neither am I. But I'm thinking it'd be cool because everybody's doing like a 500 subscriber giveaway, and I'm like, if I ever get to that point someday, I'll probably just have a hat made or something and give away a hat.
If I do a giveaway,
Right there.
I have no idea what to give away.
So he can get his knife and.
I'm giving myself away at 1,000.
I try to give myself away, and people take me to go back to where I was at. Oh, GMC.
Yep,
I'll give you. I'll give you Johnny in a dinosaur suit.
Nate, I'll pay you to keep him.
Say, Nate, is that your 2,000 giveaway?
Let's see, I'm at 357 subscribers right now. I only need 143 more.
Craig, Kathy,
wash dishes and stuff tonight.
probably couldn't ride that chopper, to be honest with you. She probably couldn't. She probably couldn't reach the handlebars and sit on the seat and get her foot on the foot pegs to be able to hold it up. Sorry, Kathy. Still got love for you, darling.
Just change the sheet.
Hey, Jay,
We
there's
just
some
have to
tires
build a
for you,
smaller
Jay.
one. We just have to build a smaller one for you. Those are pretty cool. Heck yeah. She might be spunky, but if she can't reach the handlebars to drive it, she's not going nowhere. Ain't it right, Stacy?
Jay,
I've seen
she tried
pictures
to
of her
fly off
on
of
a
it, wouldn't she?
motorcycle.
Yeah, but the distance between the seat and the handlebars and everything else, you got to be.
Present Tater. I want to see the golf cart.
Present Tater.
Jay.
Hang on one sec.
I'd be afraid she'd go flying off of it.
Let me see. Hold on. There we go. Just took me a second to figure out how to do it.
Damn, he done a bunch of work to that thing since I've been down there.
Yep, he's done a lot to it since I've been down there. That is cool.
There's the fuel tank.
Mounted and everything. Heck yeah.
Yep.
We're just slow. Her brother's going to school.
Yeah.
Tater, we need to get you some LED headlights on it so you can blind people.
Checkmate.
Now, that's a bright tail lights. It looks like the actual brake lights is lit up instead of the regular running lights.
Yeah, those do have the brake lights in it too.
It looks like the brake light side is lit up on it.
And they even, hey.
How you doing, Kathy?
Hey, Tater, me and Mama Twisted are coming to Florida this summer.
Oh yeah? You coming this way?
That's the plan.
Sweet.
Heck yeah.
Let me know. Give
Party
me a
at
date when
Nate's
you're coming.
house. Ooh, ooh, party at Nate's house.
Nate,
Come on.
I will.
You know-
Someday I will
you
make
know
it to
we know how
Florida
to party.
Flywheelers, Nate. Someday.
That little drag bike gets nasty.
Johnny, where are you going
I use it every day.
coming up?
Where?
Where you're taking your mud mower, you and your buddy?
Oh, Florida Flywheel.
Florida Flywheel Convention.
Cool.
Jay, or not Jay, Nate, I'm hoping
Yeah.
to make it to the Florida Flywheelers one of these summers. I'm hoping to make it out there.
Johnny's going this year.
Yeah.
Well, I'd go this year, but I'm flying out west for a week, so that kind of scratches that plan.
Make sure Johnny takes the camera.
But next summer
give
or
him
the
one
summer
break.
after that, if I can, I'll definitely try and make it to the Florida
Hey, Miss
Flywheelers.
Twisted.
Hi, Miss Twisted.
There's Little Twist.
Beat him up.
Little
Beat him
Twist.
up on camera.
Well, I fight
Get him,
at the
Mr.
Twisted
Twisted.
household.
Miss Twisted.
Yes.
Spank him for not coming on live more often with us. I miss my Stacy. I ain't gonna lie.
You can have it.
Actually, I want to come out there and work in the shop with him. I ain't gonna lie.
I finally got a shop where I can do something in it now.
Well, I want to come
That's
out there and help
good.
you build stuff. I ain't gonna lie.
I got a hole you can dig.
Hey, I got a backhoe I got access to.
It's for a weenie
It's
dog.
This is a little bitty dog.
There's the head view.
I'm probably gonna have
Cool.
to put him down in the morning. I'm gonna put that 9
We're gonna take-
millimeters at the back of his head.
Is that 9 mil?
We're gonna take him and have him.
Papa would freak out as much as Papa saying, "Oh, I'll do it. I'll do
He would too. He's a cool
it."
friend.
Oh, y'all look at that butt right there. Hurry up. Before I get in trouble. She's prone to walk out of the back room with not very much on, so I better turn the camera around.
I wouldn't leave a mess, Craig. If I worked on something, I'd clean up afterwards.
Yeah, Jay wouldn't leave a mess. He'd bring a truckload home.
Yeah, I'd probably have to rent a daggum U-Haul to haul the stuff home that I wanted that Stacy was getting rid of.
Did you see what the girl gave me?
Oh, that's
Trouble
cute.
is, I'd have to win the lottery to go out there with money to buy everything I wanted.
Let me show that to Kathy. I know Kathy's in the chat. I can't see the chat, but some girl gave Tabitha that little backpack today.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, okay. That's pretty neat.
Heck yeah. Hey, Stacy.
Jay.
Yeah.
You still got that wrecked F-150 with the V6 twin turbo in the boneyard? Or did the insurance company come pick that one up?
No, they came and got it. Yeah.
Dadgummit. I was hoping they'd leave it with you. I was wanting to buy the motor and transmission and all the stuff out of it.
We just sold 26 or 27 cars last week.
Let me guess, to the crusher.
No, they went to salvage yards.
Hey, Jay, imagine that Stacy gets a message from you. I'm on my way with $500,000 cash.
Stacy be like, all right, what do you need?
All right, did any of y'all watch the aluminum melting video today?
I watched part of it. I hadn't finished watching all of it. I got sidetracked with your fuel tank video.
Yep. So I need to get back and finish both of those videos. I got started on them. I need to finish them.
I watched them both.
I had to change the lock on it. Oh shit! Someone try to break in?
So all that aluminum come out of one Kohler Commander 16 horse?
One single cylinder.
That many blocks of aluminum ingots.
18.5 pounds.
Good Lord.
I can believe it.
I think if that was a Command V twin, that'd probably be a lot more if that was a V twin.
Oh yeah, no, that was a single cylinder.
I got
If you watch the video, there's a hint to what's coming next.
I have to go back and watch the rest of it
at the very end.
I seen something dusty with two wheels.
Don't give it away, Ed.
That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Stacy.
People are already throwing a fit about that.
Stacy, I'm still waiting on you to build your Barstool Racer with that V-twin on it.
I'm fixing to get started on it here, and I'm trying to get the FXS off the table. And
I'm ready to see you paint that hood and put on there.
Wait. Stacy from Gears did a V8 on a bar stool. Stacy, you got to outdo him.
I seen that one because you actually sit on top of the carburetor.
Stacy, you should do a Cummins or something.
I'm crazy, but not insane. Okay.
I seen one at a bike week that had a big block Chevrolet, and you sat on the carburetor. Actually, had a plate that went over it. That had the seat mounted to that plate that covered the carburetor, and the breather was underneath in between the carburetor and the bottom of the seat. And you sat on basically were sitting on the carburetor on a 454 for a bar stool.
I used to have two end tables beside my couch that were 350 V8s.
Set on in with the glass sitting on the end of it.
Yeah. The glass set on the
water pump.
flywheel in.
Oh, flywheel in.
Huh?
Yeah.
I want to build an articulating tractor, kind of like a rock truck with a dump bed and a engine up front with the bends in the middle.
Articulating dump.
Or Ed, my dad and I used to build articulating garden tractors.
I mean, I got it in my head about how I want to do it. So.
Yeah, my dad and I have built like 16, 17 articulating garden tractors.
I'm gonna build an 8-tire or an 8-wheel mud mower.
That would be sick.
4 axles with 8 tires.
Well, I was gonna do a tracked one, but I don't want to go through all the hassle of building the tracks.
Stacy,
so,
now how you do that 8-wheel one? Where you turn it on without having a steering wheel?
Use a hydrostatic rear end.
Use all the rear ends off of 0 turns. put multiple zero turn rear where the drive axles are in a row and all, and have them hooked up where you had a pull lever, pull one and the four on one side, do it one way, and push forward on the other, and spins it around and all. Basically like a skid steer.
Yeah, that project's probably for next year. I want to get my bar stool and my mini bike this year.
I want to see you do a video while you're painting the hood.
I'll probably do it live. I did the finish.
That would be cool too. I miss them painting streams and all you used to do.
That's crazy. Brandon there, BS Small Engines, has actually seen some of my dad's nice builds before, because him and I are in the same wheel horse pages.
56. Yeah.
Brandon, there's a way of doing that actually I just thought about. I seen it on a vehicle that had 4 steer tires and 4 drive tires on it. All 4 front ones would turn, and the back ones would turn in the opposite direction to make it better at steering. I wonder how to do the 8-wheel thing like Stacy's talking about. Like the skid steer, though, where the front 2 on each side turn and the back 2 turn, or had them where they all turn to help steer. That'd be a lot of engineering in that, though.
The way I'm going, there's going to be a lot of chain and sprockets underneath it, but it'll.
Like a John Deere Gator.
You'll push the lever forward to go forward, and pull the lever backwards to go backwards, and you'll start the brakes.
There's a video.
It'll have an individual brake on each side.
I've seen a 4-wheel drive. I've seen a 4-wheel drive cart done. It was actually a factory built thing. It was they used them up north for dragging logs out of the woods and all. Fearless Front found one and bought the thing and has a video on it.
Yeah.
It run all the. Basically had one motor with a set of pulleys and all with belts that run to each axle, and then it had a 90-degree gearbox thing. It went down to another 90-degree box that drove the front tires and all, and then all 4 tires turned.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, guys.
All right. Log hung underneath the middle of it.
Yeah. Something like that. I said you could pretty much do the same concept for a 4-wheel drive go-kart and just have the front tires where they turn and the back tires, go straight, but on the same concept. And just made it lower to the ground for like a regular go-kart.
Damn, Tabitha, we only going to be gone. We only going to be gone for 2 days.
That's the previous dog.
St. Bernard?
Yep. Talk about a giant teddy bear.
Yep. They're big loving dogs, but, you can't have them down south.
Too hot.
Yep. There's people down in Florida and not have them, but they have to have special air-conditioned rooms for them to stay in and on. They can't go outside for very long.
Me standing in front of a customized Jeep that sat on tracks.
Cool.
Horse has got a St. Bernard. I got a St. Bean Turd.
Used to have a St. Bernard. She passed away 2 years ago. This August will be 2 years ago since she passed.
Well,
the story was one day we got home, right? We were like, the morning we were leaving for school, first day of school, and we're like, yeah, she was no way in there. We thought she was sleeping. We come home later that day, we seen blood coming out of her nose and mouth.
Oh, that's not good.
Yep. We think, she was 11 years old and they only live 8 to 11 years. If she was 11 years old, we think she got hit by a car and crawled back to where she normally sleeps and decided that was going to be where she let go.
Well,
yeah, but it's going to take a fucking day. You keep cramming shit in it.
My dog I got, the breed she's Bulldog and Shar-Pei mix, and the vet says they normally live between 11 and 13, 11 to 12 years, somewhere along that, maybe 13 at the most. Mine just turned 10. And I'm like, get you thinking.
My chocolate lab was at least 14.
There's one of our builds right there, Ed.
That is cool.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
Trying to find pictures of the Minneapolis Moline.
Yeah, but I want the back longer so I can put like a 3 foot by 4 foot dump bed on it.
Yeah.
Or
I'm trying to find some photos of. Yep, there's some photos of Minneapolis. I'm trying to find no photos of them Minneapolis Molines.
Got a quick question. Maybe y'all can help me figure this out because I've been thinking about it. You know how like that little drag me thing at Taylor's got and all? It's hard to get a decent sized sprocket on the back tire because of how small the back tire is to get it to pull properly. How would it work to go from the motor to a jack shaft and from the jack shaft to the rear tire, but have the actual the large sprocket on the jack shaft, and then run equal sprockets from the jack shaft to the rear tire?
It would work.
Would that still get it where you can get it to pull like it should, and you can adjust?
Oh yeah.
Do what, Stacey?
Yeah, that should work. That's what I'm doing on my rat rod. There's a jack shaft set up.
But I was just wondering if instead of putting like the 62 sprocket on the rear tire, put it on the jack shaft, then maybe run like a 22th on the jack shaft and a 22th on the rear tire and have it because the equal size is 1-to-1. But going from like a 10-tooth sprocket to the 62 sprocket on the jack shaft would be the same as a 10 on the motor and the 60 on the rear tire, wouldn't it?
If you want to get
I
more
think so.
Go direct drive from the motor to the jack shaft. Put the clutch on the jack shaft. Then go to the rear tire.
So you're saying to go from just put a sprocket on the crank of the motor to the jack shaft.
Yeah.
Just run a solid crank, so when you crank it, it's constantly running about like a primary on a motorcycle.
Yeah, the jack shaft is turning all the time.
And then put a
clutch on the jack shaft. When you change the sprocket, your sprocket on your jack shaft, you're changing when the lockup in the clutch occurs. And you're
oh, we're losing Stacy.
Yeah, Brandon, it's a D series. That's a D series wheel horse, Brandon.
Huh. I'm just trying to figure out how you would mount the clutch to the jack shaft though.
That D series, that's one of the ones one of our friends when I built. That we put a 670 cc Predator in that.
So you'd have to run, say if the motor was a 3/4 inch, you'd have to get a 3/4 inch axle with the keyed shaft and all in it, and then mount it to it, and it'd have to be drilled and tapped on the end to draw it tight to hold it.
You run whatever size as long as the clutch fits the jack shaft.
Yeah.
There's a better photo of the 300 series.
But would it make that much difference to put the clutch on the jack shaft than would to leave the clutch on the motor? But how would that change it to where? But how would that change it if you wanted to get a bigger tooth sprocket for the actual drive on the rear tire, but the tire's so small you can't put that size sprocket on there? Is the problem I was talking about, because he's running that little small go-kart tire on there, and if you put a 62 sprocket on there, the sprocket's basically going to be touching the dirt.
You put the bigger sprocket on the driven end of the jack shaft.
So to go from the motor, from whatever size sprocket on the motor up to a bigger sprocket on the jack
Yes.
shaft.
Yes. And then you adjust your clutch to come in when you want it
There's the one.
to, and that will also adjust where your full lockup is.
And then you basically just run the same size sprocket on the clutch as you would on the rear tire.
Run staggered sprockets on the clutch and the rear tire. I mean, then you would have infinite. I mean,
Infinite combinations for gear ratios.
Yeah, I mean, it never ends.
That's an idea.
If you wanted to gear it to run 500 mile an hour, nothing out of the bottom. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing too is like like Stacy was saying, if you run a bigger driven gear, your clutch will lock up sooner at a lower RPM on the motor because you're spinning that clutch faster because of the big pulley.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what if you're using a torque converter? How could you do it with a torque converter?
Same way.
Yeah, you can do it.
So you wouldn't mount the torque converter to the motor. You'd actually build the jack shaft to the converter.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could get like a 2200 RPM clutch to lock up at 900 RPM off the motor just by adjusting that how big that gear is on that jack shaft.
So you could actually get it spinning faster at a lower RPM on the motor, so you could actually build it where it'll have a lot more torque and go a lot faster.
Yep, and when you hit full lockup, you still got all that range of that motor to go.
Cool. Yeah, y'all gonna be helping me on my next project, big time.
We do it on the race motors. We do it on the race.
There you go, Jay.
Yeah.
I'm running the jack shaft setup too.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're like 4-inch to 4-inch to 4.5-inch to 4-inch to a 5 to another 4 or 4.5.
Good gracious.
So it's going to move like 10, 15 mile an hour. It's 1-to-1 from the engine to the jack shaft. So the jack shaft will turn to 3,000 engine RPM, but it's got the 5-inch going to that 4 or 4.5 on the transmission pulley. So it should do probably 15 miles an hour with that 8-speed rear end in it.
But what I'm thinking about is with that 14 horse V twin I got, when I put it on my cart with them, because I'm not using that yellow buggy because the bottom of the frame's messed up. It's going to take me a little while to get access to a bender and all that can bend the curves like I need to do the bottom of that frame with, because I want to do it at a one solid bend or one solid piece of pipe that's bent, and not do a bend, cut it, plug it, or sleeve it and weld it up. I don't want to do that. I want to do one solid piece from the center to front around one side, all the bends, and then do another one from the center to front, all the bends down the other side, and just sleeve it and weld it in the very center front for that frame.
Sam's, to answer your question, look up UK Wheel Horse bloke. They
I got him already.
They actually put a V-twin motorcycle engine in a garden tractor.
Yeah, oh, you talking to Sam? Yeah.
Yep, Wheel Horse bloke. UK Wheel Horse bloke did that.
I'm thinking about using that.
Cool.
I'm thinking about using that 14 horse V twin and building me my own version of a race and go-kart frame, but with a seat part that comes up over the frame, and all kind of like a four-wheeler. Metal Fab Garage, I think, or Metal Fab something. I started following him on Instagram and all, and then I found out he had a YouTube page, and I started watching him on there. He built one, but he uses a Predator 212 on it, and it's cool. And I sent him a message on Instagram asking him if I could copy his design somewhat, not totally, but somewhat of the same principle to build one that'll handle my weight and all. He said that was fine with him. He didn't mind. So I want to put that V twin on there, and I want to, because the tires are going to be the 12 by 9 by 6, because the rims I ordered or I bought from you, Stacy. I'm going to get the slicks to go on the back, and I'm going to run these slicks I got on the front. But I want to put that V twin on there with that converter that Matt and Tiff got me and get it all hooked up and working.
Brandon, I'm not going to buy that purple tool cart. There's no way.
But I was just wondering about how to do the jack shaft like that with the sprocket and all, because I know on that, because them back tires are so small, you can't run a decent sized sprocket to get plenty of torque out the hole without the chain, pretty much touching the ground. If you're out on dirt, you're gonna be.
You could run the torque converter, to a jack shaft.
What happened?
And then run a centrifugal clutch off the jack.
Yeah. But why would you run the torque converter and a centrifugal clutch on the same setup?
To get more bottom end and higher lockup. You would have more bottom end with the torque converter, and then the clutch is going to come in. When the clutch locks up, you'll have direct drive from the front all the way to the back.
Huh.
I wouldn't do it that way, but I've seen it done. It does work.
But would it work with not having to do all that? To have the converter hooked to the motor and just run it back to a jack shaft, and then put the bigger sprocket on the jack shaft that it runs to, and then, like I was saying, put the equal size sprocket on the rear axle and the jack shaft.
Yeah, it'd be the same thing.
Okay, I think that's the way I'm gonna go to get me by without having to do a whole lot of stuff. But that metal fab guy, something that he done, I think it's awesome. I wish they'd build a converter like the way he built his. He took a torque converter and modified it to where he could spin his motor where the cylinder's facing the front of the motor. The shaft comes out on the right-hand side while you're sitting on it. He's got a pulley mounted to it at the top and a pulley mounted to the bottom. The chain goes over the top, down, and then around the back side of the actual converter pull chain, and then around another pulley into the rear axle. So it reverses it. The motor spins one way, the rear axle spins the other way. So you can turn that 212 around to face forward instead of facing backwards, like you have to put them on go-karts. You see what I'm saying, Stacy?
Yeah.
So it basically, instead of wrapping around the front of the sprocket on the converter, running to the back tire, it runs over that front one and then runs over the back of the sprocket and then over the front of another idler below it. Kind of like a serpentine style. He's got two idler pulleys, one above and one below the chain, and it just makes a funny W shape in there. And it works. I watched him do it and all, and put it on one of his builds and all, and it's wild, but it works. And you can actually face the motor forward then to where the cylinder head is at the front of the bike instead of facing the back like it did before. And then you can reroute the exhaust however you want it. Gives you more room to do stuff. Pretty cool setup.
When I was racing dirt cars, I built 350 Chevrolet, but I built it to run backwards. And
reverse rotation.
Everybody asked me why I wanted to run backwards. Well, the answer to that is simple. Do you want torque up on the left front corner, or do you want torque down on the left front corner?
Torque down.
When you hit the gas on a regular V8, it torques up, right?
It tries to pull that driver's side front tire up off the ground, and it sinks the passenger side rear.
You make it run backwards, it torques down.
But how do you do that in the transmission to get it to work, to spin the proper way?
The transmission wasn't an issue. It was the rear ends we had problems with. And we finally had to have a backwards ground pinion gear, ring gear, and pinion built for it.
So basically you had to take the ring and pinion for a front axle of a four-wheel drive, put in the rear axle. Reverse rotation.
Yeah, well, I guess you could do it that way, but we had one made. But
yeah.
You can do the same thing with a small engine,
Well, a buddy of mine, he used to race and all, and he would actually de-stroke his motors. He took he put a 260 V8 Chevrolet crank and all in a 283 and de-stroked that motor.
You do that.
Or was it 305 he put it in?
That
He had a shorter stroke and he turned it for higher RPMs. He turned that motor 10, 12,000 RPM all day long with no problem.
That also changed where your fire curve comes in too.
So he said the way his was with running round track with that D-stroke motor, he's pretty much in power band nonstop. He could turn the guts out of that thing.
If you want your horsepower curve to come in at a lower RPM, stroke the motor. If you come in at 4,500 or 5 motor.
And with de-stroking that motor, you can turn it higher RPMs because you're not going to worry about coming out the cylinder with it.
Well, that Oppie that I built, that I turned 12,000 RPM.
We losing you, Stacy. His internet connection must be a little iffy right now.
I'm running off a hotspot, so my computer's working pretty fast.
Cool.
Yep. Well, I did those tool review videos last week. I was like, they may be some of the crappiest videos I've ever made, but they're actually something.
If all my new tools come in tomorrow, I'm gonna do a tool haul video.
Cool.
Yeah, at least I did those tool reviews. At least I can say I have some actual videos on my channel.
Tater, you coming back up on the stream? Or are you about to go to bed for tonight? Stacy, your connection must be... Yeah, I can hear you now. You're starting to move now. You froze up for a little bit there, and we lost where we couldn't hear you. Your internet a little iffy right now?
Yeah.
Morgan made all those.
Gotcha.
I like those. That Oppie that I built that turned 12,000 RPM.
Yeah.
The connection rods on it were almost an inch shorter than the stock rods.
Good Lord.
You begged her to wet it?
Whoa, that's crazy. I wonder how it would do to take one of them V-twins like I got and de-stroke it.
Call your brother this weekend and make sure he's taking care of my dog.
I wonder how that would do, to where you could turn a whole heck of a lot higher RPM with it. But you'd have to have a forged crank and forged rods to do that, wouldn't you? To keep it from coming apart.
At least build it. But,
yeah.
Are you looking for top end, or are you looking for bottom end grunt?
Top end, just high RPM, high power, just speed.
Well, see, you're talking two different languages when you say high speed versus high power. With a small engine, you don't get both.
With turning high RPM and all, you'd have to be pushed off. Well, I'm talking about long distance, high speed.
Okay, yeah, because
you ain't gonna have no bottom end. You basically gonna have to get push started to get the thing rolling and all, and then
you're gonna have to Flintstone start it.
Yeah. All right. Because I've always wanted to take.
I love you too.
I've always loved watching the Bonneville salt flat runs and all, how they take them cars and they'd have to be push started to get going and then run such high speeds out the other end. I've always wanted to see what you could do with like a V-twin or a single cylinder lawnmower style motor or whatever on the Bonneville stretching one out long distance, like if you could, how fast the speed you could get on something like that.
I can tell you what the world's record for a V twin Kohler is at Bonneville Salt Flats.
What's that?
187.6.
Whoa!
On a Honda lawnmower.
Yeah, they have a class for lawnmowers top land speed record.
Really?
Yeah.
I still want to build a drag, kind of like a drag bike or whatever, where you actually lay down on it and your feet is back by the rear axle, and you're laying down on the tank and all, holding the handlebars, stretched out, laid out, top speed run type bike or quad or whatever. But that's something I got all these wild ideas of stuff I want to see and do and all. Probably won't get all of them done. Probably won't even get half of them done, but just things I get interested in with my mind running constant all the time and getting very little sleep.
If you want some
I
interesting,
can relate to the little bit of sleep.
If you want some interesting reading, look at all the land speed records for all the different classes. They have a land speed record for mopeds, lawnmowers.
Yeah, I mean, you build your engine to where, depending on the application, you know.
There's a guy on YouTube that I was watching. He was set to go to one of them salt flat run things, but it was rained out. And he builds a 50cc two-stroke. He custom builds, has his own casings, cylinders, everything built. I'm trying to remember the guys. It's two-stroke power or something like that. Hey, Kane, what's up? But he built his own bike. It's basically 2 aluminum sheets cut and bolted together and all. It's got the motor hung underneath it and all. The thing is crazy fast with a little 2-stroke motor. I'm talking about this little motor ain't. You can hold it in your hand one-handed. It's crazy. What's going on, Bama?
Well, that's the nice thing about two strokes. They can make more in the same horsepower than in a smaller package.
Yeah, but it's from one of his videos. It's called "The Most Powerful Two-Stroke" or something like that. And he builds all these custom and has these pieces made, and he builds his own motors and all. The thing is crazy fast.
You ain't talking about Paul's go-karts, are you?
No. This guy's over in the UK or whatever. It's called 2-Stroke Power or something like that.
If you want to see some crazy small engine shit, watch Paul's go-karts. That dude has got his stuff together.
Yes,
Let me see if I can find him real quick. Find his name. Let me go to my channel and look at the ones I'm following. It's going to drive me nuts until I find him.
I actually talked to Paul.
Well, I gotta go run a wreck, so I'll catch y'all guys later.
Have a good one, Stacy.
All right. Later.
All right.
I know a lot of guys like 2 strokes because their horsepower per volume ratios are pretty insane.
Yeah, you get some crazy power out of 2-stroke, but the only bad part is you have to constantly work on them.
Well, the reason you get the power out of the 2 strokes is because the RPMs will turn.
Yeah.
But they don't have any. The torque's not there like what I make with my motor.
Yeah.
There's guys that tried to run 2 strokes and they just won't.
You have to turn them up too high.
There's nothing there.
They're more of a top end power.
Yeah.
High RPM power.
They're flat out speed is what they're.
Yeah. They're not made for pulling. They're made for hauling butt.
Right.
Kind of like rotary engines. They're not made for pulling. They're made for high speed.
Yep. That's why a lot of them guys build them rotary engines for drag racing.
Because they make a lot of power in the top end and they're fast.
Turn some high RPM too.
Especially the Mazdas. I've heard those rotaries can hit 10 to 15,000 RPM.
Oh yeah, they'll turn the guts out of them. All right, where is it at?
Besides, rotaries sound cool when you're sitting there at the line and you just mash them.
Yeah, the guy's page is called Two Stroke Stuffing. He's got some crazy stuff. I mean, it's wild. And he built a 50cc two-stroke Bonneville land speed record bike. He built it so he can set a land speed record with it. I don't know if they ever got to race it yet or not, because the last video I seen where that it got rained out, the Bonneville was under a couple inches of water.
I do like the sound of a good built rotary when they're sitting there at the line at the drag strip getting ready to launch.
Drag strip we used to have near us. There's a guy had a little, trying to remember what kind of car, it's a little Toyota or Datsun, little small car, kind of like a little B210, one of them little tiny rinky dinky cars.
Oh, like an old Mazda or something.
It's a little hatchback car, a little tiny, small car. I'm talking about small. When I step up beside it, I'm basically propping my arm on the top and looking at it like I might get half my body in the cab of this thing. But he had a twin rotary motor in that thing, and oh my God, it sounded like a pissed off bumblebee when he turned it up. But that thing would fly. No, it wasn't a Honda Soul. It was an old 70-something model Toyota or Datsun. I can't remember which one it was.
Well, I know Mazda ran a lot of rotary engines back then.
But he put this rotary motor in it, built it, had the transmission. He built the thing, had a roll cage and all that. It was full race cars, basically what it was. And he'd run through the 8th mile and just, it would blow your mind.
Probably didn't weigh nothing.
How fast this little car was with such a small motor.
Yeah.
People kept laughing at him when he first got there because it had to sound like a pissed off bumblebee. Oh yeah, whatever. He's gonna be, man. When he made that first blast down through that 8th mile, people's jaws was on the ground, because I mean he flew through there at like low 5s, high 4s in the 8th mile.
Yeah.
And then he tuned it, and every time he run, it seemed like it kept getting faster and faster. And I was like, holy crap.
Yep.
What's that link for, Puller?
That is for Paul's Kart Life, the guy Stacy was talking about.
Oh, okay.
The one that he builds Predator motors and everything else, and the dude knows his crap, I'm telling you.
Let me check him out real quick. Oh, I'm subscribed to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does some wild stuff.
Yeah, I actually talked to him about possibly doing a set of heads for my motor.
I'm gonna see if I can. There's a video I'm trying to.
16. You mean the actual tire size or the rim size, Nate? You need a front tire basically like I got on the Fat Cycle? Is that basically what you're saying? 12-inch rim with a 16-inch bicycle tire? Or you want a 16-inch rim with a little motorcycle tire on it? $16-inch top of the tire to the bottom of the tire? I'll see what I can find.
I'm gonna put this link in the private chat, but it's actually the link for this video is it's actually a pretty cool video. It's one of the Sachs Winkle rotary engine, single cylinder, single rotor, on the back of a go-kart.
Cool.
Well, guys, it's a little bit after 9. I'm gonna get off here and get some sleep. Thanks for having me on, Tractor.
Appreciate you coming up, Puller.
Not a problem, brother.
I think I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be on here much longer.
Yeah, I'm gonna go work in the chat. I'm tired, so I'm gonna go work in the chat.
All right, Horse. Appreciate you coming up, man.
No problem, Jay.
Y'all on the next one.
All right, Puller. Have a good one. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Yep.
Nate, you want to pop up here for a little bit before you go to bed? Or does anybody else want to get up here? I can link the thing in chat if y'all want to get up here and hang out for just a little bit until I get ready to get off of here. All right, Tater. Yeah. Some of that stuff for land speed records is some interesting stuff to check out. But that guy, two-stroke stuffing, at first he's a little bit. He's from the UK, so if you're from America, it takes a little bit to get used to the way he cuts up on and jokes about different things. But the man is very smart when it comes to some of the stuff he builds. It's wild. There's my Tater. Basically, you want the front tire and rim like I got on the fat cycle. Is that what you want, Tater?
Hold on. Let me show you.
You want a 16-inch tall tire or you want a 16-inch tall rim?
So I want it to be 16-inch tall total.
Top of tire to the bottom of the tire. Basically like on the fat cycle. So that's a 12-inch rim with a bicycle tire.
This one's just
a 8-inch rim by shoot.
This one's only like 14 inches tall, the whole tire, and I need it to be about 2 more inches taller.
Hey, Mustard.
I like the style, that I got from Tractor Supply. That's what I want it to look like. You know
Spoked rim. Yeah, I see what I can find. Kind of like what I got on the fat cycle, a spoked rim with a tall tire. I see what I can come up with. Mudster, are you in the Small Engine Nation Hangout box with us? There's a link in it if you are. If not, I'll link it in the chat. There should be a link to the StreamYard if you want to come up, man. And Small Engine Nation Hangout box. But Tater, I see what I can find. Because actually, I'm thinking, I'm actually thinking about trying to see if I can. I know I got my rim on the fat cycle from BMI carts back years and years ago, and they don't carry bicycle stuff on there no more. But I found another site that deals with those spoked rims like that. I'll see what I can do and see if I can find some more of them. But I'm actually thinking about getting a new tire and rim to go on the front of the fat cycle. And if I take that one off, I might give it to you.
You ain't got to do that, dude.
Well, I seen an aluminum rim I liked, and it's got actual bearings in the front for higher speeds. Mm-hmm. And with my weight and all, I'm pressing my luck riding that fat cycle as much as I do, and the speeds that I do with that axle or that front tire with them bicycle bearings in it. Yeah. They say you can convert them over to run a different style bearing into hubs on it, but I've yet to find where you can get the bearings and all to go in there. Because them little bead ones and all, I know you can pack it with grease and they'll hold up and all. But with my weight and riding that thing, I've had to tighten that thing up twice since I built it. The front bearings, because it starts getting that play in the front tire.
I kind of do like that rim because I could put a disc, like a front disc brake on there if I wanted to.
Yeah. What's going on, Mudster?
Not too much, you guys. Mudster!
This guy is awesome. If you guys don't know who he is, go check his videos out.
That's right.
Awesome videos.
Johnny, you ain't on your phone, are you? No. You got your phone? I was going to say, if you did, if you could give Mudster his channel a shout out.
I'm going right now for you, Tractor.
I have trouble doing that. I might be able to. Hang on. Let's see. It's a little bit of a pain to do sometimes, but here we go. I think I got it. Copy. Let's see. Go to that. Hold on.
My phone won't do it no more.
Hang
Like
on.
my
I
whole-
think I got it. I think I got it.
guess say it's really no big deal.
Yes, it is.
There it is.
Nah,
Primo.
that's fine.
You just got a shout out, Mudster.
Ah, thank you.
Dude,
Yeah.
shout.
Boom.
Johnny got it out
Double tapped.
Well, Dre?
How you been, Mudster?
Pretty good. You?
I can't complain. Just dealing with all this daggum rain that we've been getting down here in southeast Georgia. Every time I turn around, start to go outside and it starts raining.
Yeah, we've been getting rain and snow and rain and snow.
Where you
One
at?
nice day here.
What state you in?
Pennsylvania.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Right between Pittsburgh and Erie. So we're like,
I know where you at. I've been through there all too many times when I drove trucks.
Yeah, I'm real close to 80 and 79 and that intersection right there.
Yeah. That pain in the butt intersection for big trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to get sent through there all the time. I got sent there through there so much I started to file taxes in Pennsylvania. That's the thing that takes so long.
They dropped Tampa Bay Customs.
Yeah.
Well, 2 people in the
Tampa Boys Customs.
Only me and you in here.
Tampa Boys is in there still.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys
Boys
want to see a mini chopper I made years ago?
Yeah. Show us.
2 people.
Say, I got a picture. I don't know if you can see it.
Ah, cool.
Let me restart YouTube real quick.
Dang, that looked good sitting next to yours, Jay.
Did you modify a factory built frame or did you build the frame and all yourself?
I built the frame myself. I had an old Honda Rebel 250. I was going to use the motor from it.
Yeah.
But me and my buddy decided to take it up through the woods and beat it, and that wasn't a good idea because we wrecked it and broke the motor mount off the case of the motor.
Ouch.
So I ended up buying a little Tecumseh motor and throwing on there for the time being.
Where's the seat at?
Can you present
Kind of
him,
between the
Jay?
fender and the frame. It's like real, like a flat piece of metal sitting back
Basically, the rear fender is the seat.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
That's cool.
So, how'd you build the neck and all? What'd you do? Take a factory mini bike neck and just
a piece of metal and some bicycle, like
bearing
neck tube
caps?
bearing.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And I would not recommend it because we destroyed the bearings multiple times.
You know how I done mine? I took I took a solid piece of I don't remember exactly how big the diameter metal was. I was going through school as a machinist and welder and all out there at college, or I was going through welding and I'd already been through the machinist part, and the instructor for the machine school part and me was real good friends. So he'd let me go over there and use the equipment anytime I wanted. So I bored out the center of it and then pocketed it and all, and used the bearings and races that's for the front end of a Mustang. Pressed it in there, then got the bearings and all, and then got the grease fitting, the grease seals to go over it. That front end will never wear out. All you do is pack the bearings with grease, push some more grease up in there, put the grease fittings in there, and then slide. I got the shaft to go through. That's the same size for the bearings and all.
Give me a marker, Joe.
And build everything and bolted it all together.
Yeah.
You will never wear that front end out just for on a mini bike or whatever.
That was my downfall of mine, was the front, like the head tube bearings. And then the chain was so long, I kept throwing the chain on it.
At first, mine was long because it went from the motor to the rear tire with no brakes. It's PH, not F.
I'm fixing it right now.
I gave him heck about that for a long time.
Why?
Because he spelled F-A-T and it's P-H-A-T. Fat cycle. Because it's pretty hard at turning. Because it's raked out, the front end's raked out on a 45-degree angle.
And it did 45 mile an hour.
From
like
the front,
it's probably real stable though at speeds.
Oh, it is.
Once you get it going, You just can't get on the throttle and still be leaning.
No, the back tire wants to spin out from under you because I'm running a 60 tooth on the rear and a 10 tooth on the converter. It's
What
digging
chain
out the whole
size?
heart. Huh?
What chain size do you run on that?
I run a 40 chain.
All right. That was my other issue because I was running a 35.
35, they stretch too bad. They can't handle the torque. If you anywhere above, I say 150 cc, don't run. If you above that, run a 40 chain.
Yeah.
212 Predator, do not run a 35 chain because you keep stretching. Have to you replace chains constantly having to adjust it for stretch. You put that 40 chain on there, you ain't got no problem. But with it being a 60 tooth on the back and 10 tooth on the front, if you got a little bit of an angle on it and you start to take off and you throttle it, the whole tail end's going to try to spin out from under you. Even with that 16 by 6.5 by 8-inch rim. It's a pretty wide tire on the back, and it still wants to spin out from under you.
Yeah, I was running a golf cart wheel on mine, and I hit probably
That's what
about
I got.
50. So I could have probably geared it up a little bit, but
yeah,
it was a prototype, so.
Well, mine run 45 with a bone stock motor with just a header I built. No carb work. It's still got the factory breather and everything on it.
It was perfectly geared too, because it would peel out from a stop, and then still.
I remember when you took it down to Nate. It was really nice. Like it looked good.
I'm gonna take the whole thing apart, sand all my welds and all, get everything smoothed out and cleaned up, and I'm gonna do a hammer finish paint job on the frame.
And then he's gonna bring it here and park it with the rest of the beauties.
Well, like I said, if anything ever happens to me, the fat cycle goes to Nate. I done told my family and all that. Yeah.
Are you putting that in your will?
Pretty much.
I'll come up there.
You gonna come up here and snuff me just so you can get the fat cycle?
Oh, buddy, you're my best friend. I love you, Jay.
But like I told my mom and all them, anything happens to me, the fat cycle goes to Florida to Nate.
No, I didn't know that.
Yep. But I'm gonna do the hammer finish. I think I'm gonna do on the front forks. I'm gonna do a shiny hammer finish on the frame. But I think for the front forks, I think I'm gonna do a flatter satin finish. And then the triple trees, I'm gonna paint the same color as the motor and the rim and all that. I'm doing that metallic blue and the handlebars.
Some bitch, Jay. You made me sad.
Why?
Because you got me thinking about that shit. What do you do that for?
Well, because you getting that.
You better get your ass down here and come hang out with me again.
I plan on it the 1st of March if I keep my money situation straight.
You best.
And I'll bring the fat cycle. I'm thinking about taking that lift out the back of my truck though before I come down there, so I can have more room to put stuff or whatever.
You put a lot of time into that damn thing.
And what, the fat cycle?
No, into the lift.
No, I didn't. I just bolted it in and started using it.
Oh my God.
It's a wheelchair lift I converted to be a deer crane in the back of my truck.
No, I'm talking about the one for the fat cycle.
Oh, I done figured out what I want to do different on that one. I'm going to do sliders on it to where it slides out the back of the truck and then pivots to put the fat cycle on instead of lifting up and folding over like I had it before.
Right.
That was a little bit too much trying to do it that way.
Mudster, he built like a custom rack where he just pushes the bike onto and then you lift it into the back of the truck like it's already ready to go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Does it go into bed or just hangs back there?
It actually goes all the way up in the bed and it goes out over the tailgate. From the front of the front tire to the back of the back tire is just over 8.5 feet.
Oh dang.
That thing is long.
Yeah.
When I first built that thing and was going up to Tennessee to Redbeard's meetup, September of, 18? I had people as soon as I got on the road going up that way. I was still here in Georgia. I wasn't 30 miles from my house. I done had people trying to pull me over wanting to buy the fat cycle from me. The guy was riding in a 4-wheel drive truck beside me. His buddy was it was a 4-door 4-wheel drive. They were hanging out the window on the passenger side, hollering at me, wanting me to pull over. I rolled my window down. I'm like, what is it? They said, where'd you get that? I said, I built it. They said, sell it to us. I'm like, it's not for sale. They started holding up cash, said, we will buy it right now. I'm like, you don't have enough money. He said, we could come up with it. I'm like, you ain't got enough money for that one. Man, I bet you I had 20 people trying to buy that thing the first time I took it out and went up there and all over the place, people trying to buy it. But that one right there is guaranteed to hold the weight. A lot of these mini bikes is only rated, if you actually check the factory specs on them, they're only rated to hold somebody up to maybe 200 pounds.
And you rode that thing down. You rode that thing down a bumpy dirt road too.
Dude,
it wasn't like it was smooth pavement.
Dude, I rode that thing through that pecan orchard out there at my family farm, and that thing ain't smooth at all. And I didn't even have full throttle then, and it was still trying to spin sideways on that grass. But everything I build to hold up to a fat man. That's why I say we do it fat man fabulous. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff I want to do to that fat cycle still. I want to build a gas tank to go on it. I want to build me a what they call a half fender on the front tire, and I want to do a fender on the back tire and all, and put a little small motorcycle battery on it with a LED front light and LED brake lights on it and running lights.
Nice.
To where we can ride it at night and stuff.
Yeah, lights will make a difference.
Yeah. I got a fender that my buddy Henry, before he died, gave me. It come off a Honda 650 Shadow. It's a fiberglass fender. I'm thinking about modifying it to where it'll fit over that back and give what they used to call the old I'm trying to think what they called the fenders. It's the ones that went down on the motorcycle, went all the way just about to the ground, and then curved out and run flat. They had a certain name for it on regular motorcycles, but I'm gonna take the fender and roll it to where it's, and then cut it to fit and have it mounted to where it sits low like that, and then mount the tail lights to it, or mount the running light, the center running light, and then I got the two. It looks like almost like blinkers, 1-inch blinkers for a motorcycle, but they're white until you hit the power to them, and they glow red. It's for custom motorcycles and all. My brother gave me a set, and I'm going to put them on the back for the brake light, since the brake handle I got has actually got the I put it on the clutch side, but it's actually a brake handle with the brake relay piece in it. I'm going to do that so it actually has brake lights and all that. I got a bunch of stuff planned for it. This daggone weather has it where I can't even work on nothing because every time it rains, because my carport's got a few holes in the roof and it leaks and all, and I ain't working out there getting rained on. But yeah, I think I'm gonna build a few more frames and all. But I'm not doing that 45-degree rate for people to ride.
Yeah.
That's a little too much for people that don't know how to ride one. They'll hurt themselves.
That's when we bought our new house. I had to get rid of some toys, so I got rid of that one.
Oh, yeah. It's rough getting rid of something when you put so much time into building it.
It was the first thing I really ever built and finished. So, like, it had a special spot. But looking at it now, being a little older, I'm like, I could do so much better. So it's kind of like a good thing to get rid of, because if I ever get time again, I'll build another one.
Yeah. Hey, Tater.
Hello.
I think he stepped away from it. I just had an idea for how he could build a gas tank on that thing. A real good idea.
I got lucky on mine. I was walking through the woods. I found a front wheel, fender, and a gas tank all laying in one spot.
Dadgum. Somebody stripped something, just threw the parts out, or...
Yeah, well, the place we were walking through was kind of an old junkyard at a time that they cleaned up, so they must have missed the stuff. But it was a fiberglass gas tank.
Oh, that makes it a lot easier.
Wasn't worth nothing for scrap.
No, And a lot of times, if with old fiberglass like that, you have to pay to have it hauled off.
Yeah.
Hey, Tater. Hey, Johnny, where'd Tater go?
He will be right back.
All right.
He's getting into dino suit.
No, that's Johnny that gets in the dino suit.
I know.
I was worried about that night when they were going to do that burnout on that 250 and with Johnny in the dino suit. I was scared that daggum tail was going to get hung up in the chain and all and snatch him in the dino suit and everything off of it and get twisted up in the chain.
Yeah, I was afraid, last night when Nate's wife was riding it and doing the burn, I was like, if that chain goes, ooh, back of the leg, ow.
Yeah, that's something else I don't have on mine is I don't have a chain guard. I don't have a tensioner in between the jack shaft and the rear tire on the fat cycle yet. I tried to build one, but I was in a hurry as usual, trying to do something last minute. And it didn't hold up.
I always say the first one's a prototype too.
Well, I tried to use a screen door spring or a gate spring where you open it up and it puts just enough spring pressure to push it back closed. I tried to use that to build tensioner with. Didn't have enough pressure, wouldn't hold it. So I think I'm gonna make a collar piece that slides over the frame that you can tighten up with a bar. It comes off for the idler I got to where you can slide it on the frame to where you need to tighten up the chain with, so it'll be close to the sprocket of the jack shaft or closer to the thing to lift the chain to hold it tight. Do it that way. Tater, I got an idea on how to build a tank on that drag bike you got to where it's actually built into the frame and looks just like it does now. You see the curve?
I'm planning on getting an aluminum tank built.
Yeah, but I was thinking about something. You see them plates on the side of the frame by the neck and all?
I'd have to put a fuel pump.
Nope. Gravity fed.
Huh?
You might have to do a pulse pump, but what I was thinking is way it's curved and all, it wouldn't be a whole it probably will hold about a quart.
I thought about it.
Close, take a piece of sheet metal, close in underneath, weld it all up, and seal it, and then put a petcock at the bottom.
Yep, I thought about that, but I think instead I'm gonna hide my electronics in there.
That would work.
Because I have to put.
How would it?
Is that electric start?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it is. That is the electric start 8-horse Briggs. I got an 8-horse Briggs electric start, but unfortunately it's a vertical shaft. They say you can convert them to run horizontal, but you have to plug up a couple holes and add a scraper thing on the bottom of the connecting rod so to sling the oil. But
I gotta put this rectifier on there. This guy, it's like a resistor or something.
Yeah.
And it came with a push button start, but I think I might figure out something to put on the handlebars. It has this push button start and this kill switch. But I was planning on hiding all that up under there and putting a battery in the back.
Yeah. Hey, Tater, how would it work to, like you said, hide all the electronics and all, and have it where you reach under that panel and just mash a little button in a pocket to crank it and all where you don't see the push button? You just have to reach under and find it and mash it.
Well, I have. Hold on.
And just have like a key for the on off to where they can't just mash the button and crank it You got to have the little key to turn it on with, or get the power to the switch.
Somewhere I have a push button start for the handlebars, though. You put it on the handlebars.
Oh, like used to be on 3-wheelers and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to put the kill switch in the hand and the push button start in the handlebars.
That would work. You probably check on. You probably check on BMI on their clearance stuff. They got a bunch of them things that mounts on the handlebars for like clutch handles, brake handles, on-off switches, and all that stuff. If I'm not mistaken, I think they got one that's got a push button on it too. It ain't but a couple bucks.
I'm probably just gonna take everything off that street bike.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, you take the controls and all off of it, and if it's the same size handlebars, just slide them on there and tighten them up. There you got the on-off, push button, everything, brake switch, the whole 9 yards.
Yep.
You even got hydraulic. You should have a hydraulic brake handle and all on there too.
That's what I was looking at.
Yeah.
Because I have this to go on the back wheel.
Oh, hydraulic brakes.
Oh yeah.
That looks like a brand new shiny one.
I got this from Motorcycles, Go Karts, etc., which I haven't heard from him in a while. I need to see if I can see what the heck he's up to.
I just seen him the other day in a live stream, but I don't remember which one I was on.
What size of brake? Nate,
what size brake rotor you got?
Rotor?
Yeah. Or are you going to use the? Are you going to actually use the sprocket for the daggum brake rotor?
No, son. I got a rotor on there.
Cause see, that's where I messed up. I didn't make the actual forks and all, the rear forks and all wide enough to put a brake rotor and all that in between the tire and the frame. Oh yeah, you do, don't you? That's nice. You just got to weld a bracket on there to hold the brake caliper.
Yeah. You got the hydraulic line for that?
No, I'm hoping I can steal that off that street bike too.
Remember though, you got to put the brake line to the bottom because the bleeder valve goes to the top, ain't it? Or is the bleeder valve go to the bottom?
I can move this.
I don't remember which.
I think you want the bleeder valve on the top.
Yeah, like so.
That way you get the most air out of the system.
I kind of wanted to put
you don't
where you can
take
see
it. The actual caliper should be on the back because the brake line and all that needs to be away from the tire, so you don't take a chance of it getting rubbed.
So like this.
Exactly.
And I kind of want it. I kind of want it out where you can see it. Honestly,
you probably build a thing where the pieces come on the inside of that.
The bolt holes are right there.
Yeah, make the bracket where it welds up to in between the two tubes. No, you don't want it between two tubes because then you couldn't get the axle off. Hook. I think you want the brake towards the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah. So when it grabs, and if it tries to pull, it ain't going to fold it over. It's actually going to be pulling against that bottom frame tube. Because up there, you'd have it grabbing and pulling the tension.
I wanted it right there.
Yeah, I don't think you want the brake lines and all that close to the tire.
The brake line will be going out that way, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Son of a meat cigarette.
Yep. All right, y'all. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Mother Nature's calling.
Yeah, I would think if you'd mount that, as long as your breather is up or your bleeder valve, that's all that really matters. Because that'll allow the air bubble to be at the highest in the caliper. And then when you crack it open, it'll push all the air out.
What if I just bled it while it was like this and then mounted it right there?
I was going to say, you could do that too. remove the caliper, bleed the system, make sure all the air's out, and then put it back on.
Yeah. I got one of those one-man bleeding systems too. It keeps it from catching air.
Yeah.
I don't know if that helps or not, but I need a little vacuum. I need a vacuum pump. That'd be cool.
Oh, that's real cool.
I still got a lot of work to do. That tire actually, I think, needs to go to that way a little bit anyway. Or a half inch.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, y'all. When Mother Nature says you got to go, you got to go. I see that pretty red air filter.
I don't think there's many people in here, so I'll go ahead and say that'll give you a clue to the color of the bike.
Anodized red.
I'm looking for a cherry.
That one was actually purchased and sent to go on a Z50.
I know, but the Z50 is retiring right now, and
the frame is gonna be mine.
No, it's not.
I've got to check. I found a ad on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, of a guy selling. He's got 2 or either 3 Honda 50s, and I think one of them is an all original Z50. But the motor is, he says he thinks the motor is locked up on it. I'm trying to check, see what he'll let me. He's trying to sell all 3 of them. And I want to see if he'll just sell that one Z50, and it's got the sprockets and all that look new on it. Really? All kinds of other parts and all I could hopefully pick up cheap, and I was going to bring it to you.
Right. You need to find out what he wants. Like, he's looking for something. See what he needs.
Yeah, but he's wanting to sell all 3 at one clip, and I don't want to buy all 3 because I ain't got no use for them. I can't ride them.
The
me on a 50, it'd be about like me trying to ride a. How could I put this?
I would almost bet though, Jay, if you were to be able to get on it, it would push you.
It probably would until the clutch blew out. But me on a 50 would be about like.
I'm trying to think of an example.
Be about like trying to put Nate's C10 on one of them little tiny lawnmower trailers that hooks behind a lawnmower, one of them little 2-foot by 3-foot trailer.
Well, don't start. And driving down the interstate.
And driving down the interstate with them little air up 2-ply air up tires. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That would be about the gist of it. Look like you getting tired, Mudster.
No, the phone was dying. I was down like 11%.
Oh.
And my cord's like 3 feet long, so I was like, I gotta lay on the floor now.
That's the only bad part.
I actually came home from work today and it was crazy, dude. Usually I'll have Cheyenne, I'll take a nap like every day. And I'll come home about 4 o'clock and then I'll have her wake me up at like 5 or something. Well, today she said, "What time you want up, Daddy?" I said, "I'll just let me sleep today," because I was tired. I slept till 6:30 from 4 o'clock.
So let me guess. When I text you, I actually woke you up.
No, I was actually going to my buddy's house to return that generator that I got running last night.
Oh, that red one?
Yep.
Cool.
So cool. I took that over to his house, and then I got back, and Johnny come over, and then I got on here.
That red motor that Christine was working on, did y'all get that one running, or was that the generator?
Yeah, that's the one I took back. Yep.
Oh, that was a okay, I thought that was a different red motor because I was looking at him like I didn't remember seeing the generator part on the back of it.
Mudstar, were you the one saying hooking up to the welder?
Yeah.
I almost did, man. I thought about it. Like I was like, man, that's a good idea. See if it'll push it, but I forgot. Crap goes by, like the comments go by so quick, man. I can't hardly keep up anymore.
Oh yeah, there was a lot in there too last night.
Yeah, last time I seen was I think at one point it was either 36 or 38 people in there. I remember seeing last night.
I think 45 was the highest I saw.
I thought I saw 45 too, Mudster.
I wasn't paying attention to the number of people. I was just trying to watch the chat and do other things at the same time because I was trying to fix my niece's computer for her homeschooling.
I'm really slow at typing, so it's like I start typing something, then it's already set and gone. I'm like, crap, delete. And then I try to type something else and crap. So
yeah.
When they get going that fast, it's kind of like tough for me.
I'm sorry, guys, but unfortunately, I hope it gets worse.
Hey, we hope so too.
Tater, I want to see your channel where you're not into just like 2,000 people. I want to see 10, 12, 15,000 people subscribe to you.
Oh yeah, he deserves it.
Keep going.
I have so much stuff I could be filming that I just don't, like at work and stuff, but people aren't really interested in. You think about some of the stuff I get into at work, Jay.
I'm interested in stuff like that. I know a lot of people ain't, but I am.
Even like when I go fishing, nobody watches that stuff. That's why I kind of drifted away from the fishing.
Yeah. See, I'm one. Once I like the channel, I don't care what they post. I usually watch it. My only issue is like I work so much at work and I only have a few hours at night, so time to actually sit down and watch every video out there and still stay in the garage working is kind of hard for me. So there's a lot of videos I don't get to watch, but if they're on my back burner and I got nothing to do, then I'll try to go through and hit them.
I didn't know about your channel.
See, I got the luck. I'm lucky enough, Mudster, with my job, man. I drive through the woods. Like, that's what I do. I drive through the woods and look for exotic plants. And I just set the phone on my dash, and I could watch videos while I'm driving,
Yeah.
Because I'm in the woods. There's, like, nobody around at all.
Yeah.
So I'm, like, four-wheeling, off-roading and stuff, watching videos. The phone's, like, bouncing around on the dash and stuff. But I could still watch videos. And then when me and Johnny are in here in the shop, we'll put it up on the big screen right there and watch them,
Yeah. That's what I've been trying to do lately is get better Wi-Fi out in my garage.
Yeah.
So then I can start getting like the stream out there and playing it and watching.
Mudster, your videos need to get out there too, man. Johnny. You're one of those people, man, that are not noticed enough, dude. I'm telling you. I need to give you
I don't like let it bother me. Like what happens happens.
Though.
I'm just kind of putting it out there so people can see it and
Mudster,
they like it. They like it. If they don't, they don't.
You have the access to stuff, big giant tools and your skills are way better than mine. You know what I mean? Like you know how to actually fabricate and stuff, man. If you get those videos out, dude, you got to keep busting out videos.
That's my problem. I just make videos. I ain't no good at video.
Mudster, I'm not joking, dude. One day, man, you will surpass me, bro. If you keep on pumping out videos, I promise you.
See, I don't do it for that though. Like that last video I posted, I did that stuff back in September. It just takes me that long to get to the computer to have sit down time to start editing this stuff.
I understand that.
Welcome back, Tampa.
I've got like 3 or 4 more that I'm in the process of editing right now, and it's like that stuff's from back in June and July. It takes me forever.
I can't say nothing. I had a bunch of videos to be edited, to be uploaded and all, and I lost every bit of it with my phone messed up. That's the reason I got a new phone and then ordered that 8-man camera, and then I went and tried to use that 8-man action camera to record hunting videos and all, and it didn't have enough zoom to zoom in to see stuff real good, so I was like, didn't even record no more after the first couple times trying to record stuff. Because action cameras are used for up close video and all, and a lot of stuff I was trying to video was 50, 60, 70 yards away.
Yeah.
Wasn't going to work.
That's what I tell you. I've been wanting a damn like camcorder style.
Yeah.
Because I like zooming in on like people's faces, like Johnny, and when they're bent over for the calendar and that kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's kind of what I use in my garage as a camcorder, but sometimes like the initial like zoom of it is still too close for what I'm working on. Like it won't zoom back far enough to get a nice like broad array of a picture.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's kind of like I try to switch back and forth between a GoPro and that, because the GoPro has like a nice like wide angle to it.
Yep.
But like the GoPro batteries of mine just don't last that long. So I'm gonna get in the market for a new camera and figure out something there.
Well, that 8-man camera I got come with 2 batteries, and each battery's supposed to last like 2 hours. Recording solid 2 hours straight.
I got these.
And then I got 2 extra batteries sent to me with a portable charger. So I got 4 batteries, portable charger, and everything, and it was that record 8 hours worth of recording solid.
Yeah.
And I don't even record nothing. Like I said the other day, I couldn't find it until I started looking at booths and stuff. Found my camera, but I still can't find my accessory kit.
Well, once you get back out in your garage and that and start working,
I'll set the tripod up and start recording and all. Yeah.
Because I know I watched that last video you did where you were working on your fat cycle out there.
When I was doing the jack shaft on it.
Yep.
That damn thing.
That was nice.
That table I'm working on is actually a metal door that I built the framework, set it on, and tack welded it in place to hold it to keep it from sliding. That's a metal shop door.
Jay, how much did I pay Johnny for that Motobox frame?
Heck, I don't know.
You seen it when I got it, the video, right?
Yeah.
Wait, you said the price on it?
What do you think? $25? I still haven't paid him for it.
$10.
That's what it's all right. So that sounds good to me. $10. What?
I thought Johnny still owed you money for something.
Johnny always owes money for something.
Oh my gosh!
He has to work it off.
I feed this kid. I take him all over the place. I took him to a strip club. How many 20s did I? Hey, how many 20s did I hand you at the strip club, Johnny?
I don't know.
Huh? How many 20s, Johnny?
I don't know.
How many 20s?
Hold up. When do I need to come down so you can carry me to the strip club? You can hand me the 20s. I'll put them in my pocket. When we get back to the house, I'll split them with you. The heck we give them to the women. You don't get nothing out of it. I get to the house, I give you half of them back and keep half of them myself. We can buy go-kart parts.
Johnny,
Score!
Remember the lap dance? The lap dance I paid for?
Yeah.
Remember when the girl was sitting next to you and I said, buy her a drink? Remember that?
Yeah.
And I gave you some money and said, buy her a drink? You remember that?
Yeah.
All right. How much do I owe you for the mini bike now?
20.
20?
Hold on. Wait, hold on.
Hey, Tater.
Uh-oh. Hold on. Johnny's thinking.
$100.
I knew I smelled smoke sometime. He's thinking I can smell the smoke from here. That's getting rough.
I never did charge you for gas money to take you all the way to Orlando, or when I took you all the way to the other side of Florida to the Cletus and cars. I didn't charge you no gas money. I'm pretty sure I bought you a beer or two while we were there too.
Yeah,
and I bought you some food.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't buy you no food.
No.
All right, well I bought you a beer.
Yeah, you could feed me beer.
Which was a $9 beer, by the way.
It's funny how you get beer anywhere else are a couple bucks a piece. You get to an event like that, $10 for a Coke. You like?
We're bringing a cooler next time.
Exactly. Hey Tater.
Huh?
Has it been too cold down there to go fishing?
It's never too cold to go fishing out here.
Nope.
I'm gonna check in to see how much it's gonna cost for like a 3-day pass for fishing license, 3-day fishing license.
I want to say it's like $35
or something like that.
No. Yeah.
If it is, I'm gonna probably end up if you want to when I come down. If you want to go fishing and all,
Wait a minute. I don't think you have to have a fishing license if you're fishing from land.
Or you want to
out
be
of
on
state,
boat.
you do.
Yes, you do.
If you're out of state.
Yes.
Out of state. I'm not a resident of Florida, so I think it's 30. I think it's like $35 or $40 for a 3-day pass. But I was gonna bring my couple rod and reels and my tackle box and all. If you wanted to go do some fishing while I was down there, so we can hang out and do some fishing.
Grab some shrimp. We can grab some shrimp and go catch some snapper, man.
Oh heck yeah! I've been wanting to do some fishing like that, and I ain't done none in a long time.
We could probably put you on some.
Cool. I was hoping to have the bad boy done by then, but I don't see that happening. I can't get enough stuff cleaned up and moved around to get that thing in under the carport and all where I can build that frame.
Right.
That's going to take me a little while.
You got like a golf cart, but it's electric 4-wheel drive.
48-volt electric 4-wheel drive. Bad boy. Look it up. Bad boy buggies. 48-volt.
I've seen them. I know all about them because when they first came out, I was watching every video they put out. Because they got hybrid ones too now that run on gas until you get close to where you want to hunt, and then you can switch over to electric.
Yeah.
And then like be quiet sneaking in on the freaking.
They got ones now. Some of the newer ones now actually have a switch to where it's you can run it in 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive, and then you got another one. It's also where you can set it on auto. It'll start out in 4-wheel drive when you first take off, and then as you get going and all, if it's not under a strain, it'll shut the front axle down and just be pulling in 2-wheel drive.
Right.
Yep.
Who's the actual manufacturer of those? Is it the Bad Boy itself, or is it somebody else?
There was a company called Bad Boy something or other. They built the buggies and all, and now it was bought out by somebody else. And I think the ones that bought them out actually own Easy Go and all that.
That's my one boss has a club car that's basically built by Ingersoll Rand.
Yeah.
This thing's pretty beastly looking.
Oh yeah. Those things make good everything.
Yeah.
But these things they're 48-volt. Mine's full-time 4-wheel drive and all. And it'll run like 21 or 25 miles an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's one video you gotta watch.
Why ain't you shot a video on it, Jay?
Because I hadn't got it. It's still sitting on my trailer and all strapped down to where we went and picked it up. I'm trying to get everything cleaned up, so once I get it up on the table, then I'll start shooting video on it. Because literally they got a bar, the golf cart place that my dad had them take the parts off of this one that he gave me to put on the new one that he got because the frame rotted out. Literally took a bar from the frame above the rear axle to where the dash is to keep holding it straight, because if he didn't, it would literally fold and drop in half. That's how bad the frame's rotted out. When they took the rack off the top and the roof piece, the plastic roof, and the bars off the top, the thing literally folded and sat on the ground in the middle.
Jeez.
And the whole reason it rotted out is because of the batteries.
Yep.
All electric golf carts, the frames around the batteries, no matter what you do, will rot out unless they're coated with something. That's the reason when I rebuild it, I'm going to have stainless steel battery trays built, and I'm going to have the frame and the battery box and all that, or the outside of the battery box, bed lined. So you ain't got to worry about it.
Right.
Because I don't want it to rot out on me. You still there, Mustard? You ain't. I don't see you move. There you move.
Up from here.
You got so still that I thought your screen had froze.
No, I was daydreaming in my head.
Oh, I do that 24/7.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm actually gonna videotape all of the building of the frame and everything else on that bad boy because golf carts as big as I am, golf carts when I sit on one, the steering wheel is basically most part of them's either touching my stomach or right there about to. I'm gonna stretch this bad boy probably about at least 6 inches so I have more room on it.
Nice. Since you're modifying the frame anyway.
I got to build a new frame for it anyway. I'm gonna stretch it. And
yeah.
My cousin, I was like, "Hey, you gonna stretch the frame with?" He said, "You're gonna have a lot of fiberglass work and all to do, ain't you?" I'm like, "Nope." I said, "Look, the fiberglass seat, where the seat and the back and all fiberglass and all comes down and stops at the bottom by the floor." I said, "The fiberglass nose piece just slides over and bolts on. All that in the center is just a 4-piece with a rubber mat on it. When you cut it and stretch it right there, all you got to do is add a little bit more metal for the floor and a rubber mat. There's no fiberglass work to be done." He's like, he just kind of held his head down. He says, "Never mind. I'm not even going to say no more." Turned and walked off. I was sitting there about to die laughing. It was hilarious.
What material are you going to use for rebuilding the frame on that?
I got some metal tubing. It's like 2-inch by 2.5, I think is what it is. It's not square, but it ain't. It's just and it's pretty thick wall. I'm going to build a stout frame compared to what was under it. What was under it was like 1.25 inch square tubing, and it's looked pretty thin. I'm going to build a natural born stout frame, and my buddy and all told me, he said, "You ought to lift it up higher." I'm like, "Dude, it's already pretty daggum high now with them 24 by 11 by 10. No, 24 by 11 by 12, I think is what's on it. Or is it 10? 24, 11 by 10 inch rims is what is the tires that come on it. So it sits up pretty good. It sits up a good bit higher than Tater's.
Yeah.
The bottom of it is up higher than what Tater's is. So, but they were wanting me to lift it up another 3 or 4 inches. I'm like, "Dude, it sits high enough as it is." I'm like, I don't want nothing that I have trouble climbing up on to get in it. Plus, when you get up higher and all, you got to worry about when you go around corners, them leaning real bad and stuff. Nah. Keep it factory height. But I am going to take the regular headlights and all that off of it and put LED ones in it. Be a lot less draw on the batteries. Means you can go further without having to charge them.
Tampa Bay Customs, I removed your personal information for your Facebook off there, but just in case you didn't want it on there. But I got it, and I'll look you up after the stream.
Yeah, you don't want to leave stuff like that up very long, people. There's people that come in and watch stuff and all just so they can try to catch people's information to where they can troll you and stuff.
Later, Johnny.
Later.
You going home, Johnny?
Johnny?
Yep, Johnny's out.
Peace out, Johnny. Do the dab real quick. Let's see the dab.
There it is.
There it is.
I got this. Nate, when you yank that motor off, got the motorcycle frame?
Uh-huh. What?
Frame for frame, what he's saying.
Oh, okay. All right, deal.
He's happy.
Yeah, he's happy. He wants the motorcycle. He wants to put like a 212, or he's got an 8 horsepower Honda he wants to put on it.
I've seen a dirt bike done with a 212 Predator on it.
It'd be hilarious to videotape, have on his channel.
Yeah. Something I've been thinking about, something I've seen other people do that I've always wanted to try. They took a 40 horse boat motor and put on a racing lawnmower.
Good night, Tampa Bay. Good night, Nubs.
Have a good one, Tampa.
Yeah, have a
He
good
goes
one.
by Nubs, if I'm correct. I've heard him say it a few times on his videos, so I'm pretty sure that's what he goes by.
Nah, I just call him Tampa. But they took the motor off of a boat motor, the top engine and all off, and they put it on there, and they put somehow they got the water pump hooked up to a little radiator and all that, and then they put the pulley on the bottom of the crank and all to go back to the rear axle and all. And they do some crazy stuff with that. I thought about doing that because I got a 70 horse Johnson out there. Could you imagine a 70 horse boat motor on a racing lawnmower?
Oh my Lord.
Especially if you tinker with it like they do boat motors and turn them up.
It'd bolt right like up to the day. I bet you the head would bolt right, or what do they call that? The power unit. What do they call it?
The power head.
Yeah, the power head. It'd bolt right up to the frame of the mower.
Pretty much.
Oh, you'd have to figure out how to cool it.
That's the one they figured out a pump system through a little dirt bike radiator and all to keep the motor.
You just have some kind of water pump, huh?
Yeah.
Like a 12-volt water pump.
They got little 12-volt water pumps.
Yeah, and get like an ATV radiator system on there.
Yep. ATV or dirt bike. But I seen a couple racing mowers with boat motors on them, but they were using like 40 horses. I got a 70 horse out there.
Yeah. I've never seen a boat motor.
It's basically take an inline 4 car motor, stand it up on the end of the crank. The cylinders are going flat, and they're 2-stroke. Well, you could get a 4-stroke, but
I thought you were talking about like the V4.
No, mine's an inline 3-cylinder, 70 horse.
Holy.
Yeah, big cylinder.
That'd look cool coming out the hood.
It would be crazy. But it's electric start and all that too.
I don't know if you guys know the website, but it's atltf.com. It's the all-terrain lawn tractor forum. I'm a member on there, and that's where I put most of my tractor builds that started years ago. And I have an Alice Chalmers on there that's running all Arctic Cat suspension front and rear. I picked up a 2001 Yamaha R6 over the summertime for the motor for it. But the people who had the motorcycle before me trashed the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Did a couple things to the motor. It was trashed inside, so I got rid of it. I have a Kawasaki Vulcan 900 that I used to ride sitting here. I don't ride it anymore, so I'm considering tearing that one apart and throwing the motor on there. So I can have full-wheel drive, full suspension on my Alice.
Our buddy Matt.
That would be awesome.
Our buddy Matt had a lawn tractor. He put a 4-wheel drive suspension on and a motorcycle engine that he rode and all called the basket case.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
That thing was a beast. I seen it in person up close.
It's famous.
Yep. Loved that thing. It was wicked.
I think I remember when Twisted went up there and rode it.
Yeah, he did.
I seen it before that because I seen it at Redbeard's meetup, September. That's where I met Matt the first time. That thing was wild. Seeing him fly around that track and all, that was, and that it would lean going around the corner. And I was like, "Ooh, that thing!" I like, looks fun, looks dangerous. Would I ride it? Yes. Would I turn it wide open? No. I'm crazy. Well, I wouldn't consider myself suicidal, but I've done some crazy stuff people think I'm suicidal on. Like riding the fat cycle 45 mile an hour with no brakes. Ain't it right, Tater?
Yep.
You've done
Feet
it.
down.
Yep.
Feet down. Need to stop.
That torque converter slowed her down. No problem.
Yeah, that torque converter worked good. All you had to do was let off of it, and it would literally almost work like an engine brake, start slowing you down.
Oh.
It was wild.
Always had junk shoes I wore on with mine. Needed to stop, just start pushing them on the ground.
Well, I got a brake on mine now to where all you got to do is grab it and it stops the jack shaft or slows the jack shaft down. Tater, did I have that on there last time I come down?
I don't know. It wasn't on there. Wait, no, it wasn't on there.
Or what? Yeah, it
I
was.
don't think it was.
The last time I come down is when I did the brake before I come down. Because I had the idler on there, and the idler fell off. Or the chain tensioner, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
The brake worked good, the tensioner fell off. And Tater literally rode around and found the pieces and brought it back to me.
I remember that now. Yep.
I can't wait to come down there again. I ain't going to lie.
We should do some fishing, though. Hey, you know what we could do, too, is hop on the golf cart and go ride out on some of these lakes around here and do some little brim fishing.
Yep. I got a good small pole, and then I got a good decent sized pole for doing like saltwater fishing like you do.
I also oh shit, I just lost train of thought. I'm doing like 3 things.
You're talking about the golf cart and hitting the small ponds and all around the fish in and all.
Yeah, I was thinking though, I've been wanting to do a go-karts to go fishing. You know what I mean? That's like drive the go-karts to go fishing. Everybody's, if I had a go-kart, I'd drive it to go fishing. I've heard that a million times. And I haven't shot a video like that ever.
With the fishing poles, and tackle box and all that on the go-kart?
Yeah.
Yeah, you made it to Tractor Supply. Might as well make it fishing now.
Yep.
It's only half the distance to go fishing as it is the Tractor Supply.
The trouble is, I don't know how I'd put fishing poles and a tackle box on the fat cycle because that's the only thing I got to ride right now.
Well, no, I was saying we could take the golf cart.
Yeah. That would work. Have a good one, Tampa. Oh, he was already gone. I just noticed where he said have a good night.
Yeah. I'm trying to find him on Facebook right now.
He's been commenting. He's been commenting a lot on some of my videos.
He's commented on several of my videos.
Well, I found him and I brought him into Small Engine Nation. He had under 100 subscribers when I found him. He's already up to 150.
Wow.
Is it 150 or has he got more than that now?
Well, he had 147 earlier. He might have more now. Who knows?
Because I think when you first brought him in there, I remember he just was at 100. Or just a hair over 100, I thought. He's dead on 150 right now, straight up.
He's gained 3 since the beginning of this stream, so. Yep.
Wow.
And he was under that. Like he was under 100. He just did 100 subscriber video like yesterday.
Dadgum.
So, and he's got some freaking awesome builds, man. Honestly, like he's got tons of go-karts. He's got a one mini bike he's building. It's completely out of rebar. He's gonna do 4 tires on the back and 2 on the front. It's gonna be like a trike type deal. And it's got 2 engines on it.
That's going to be wild.
He's already got the frame and the handlebars and everything built. Motors are sitting on it. He's got he's got like a 301 go-kart. He's got like a 420 go-kart. He's got another trike with like a built 212 on it.
See, I want to do a built motor, but it's going to take me a while to buy all the high performance parts to go in the motor I want to build.
I don't know if you guys would know this, but the 22 horse Predators that Harbor Freight sell, you know how they make all the aftermarket performance parts for the horizontal one, the 670?
Yeah.
Does any of those parts work on the vertical shaft one that's a 708?
That's a good question.
That I don't know. I hadn't thought about that, but I'm pretty sure a bunch of performance stuff would work on it.
Because that's what I was wondering. Like my mowers, I have to usually run the vertical shaft engines.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'd rather get like the heads and cams and stuff for one of those, but with it being a different CC, and different like crank orientation. I didn't know if it would make a difference or.
Check with them if you know the site that makes them parts and all for the 670 horizontal shaft. Just talk to them and see if they would work on the 708.
That's what I thought about today, calling around for that, but I'm not ready to buy anything yet. So
I think the cams would probably work, and the stuff in the heads would probably work because it'll be the same upright as it was laying down. But I think some of the other stuff might have to be done a little different with them being a horizontal to vertical.
Yeah, like I said, I've never really looked into this stuff, but I kind of was thinking about that today.
The connecting rod would probably still would be the same.
I need some help.
All right, what you need help with?
All right, so I want to get a pit bike muffler to come right out the back, out the center of the back. Okay?
Yeah.
And I want to put this Tennessee license plate somewhere, right? But I also want to I'm going to put this on there. I'm going to put LED light in it. It's an old, like reverse light or something. I don't know, off an old car. So I want to mount that up here with like a red light. So should I put like the red light like here or down here? Or should I put the license plate on this side and then the light on that side, or the license plate and then, you know what I'm saying?
The license plate, that would be
Put the light up here and the
How's
license plate under it.
Is the exhaust pipe going to be directly centered over the tire coming out the back?
Like that, right?
No, I wasn't thinking about that. I'm talking about is the exhaust pipe going to come out very center, or is it going to be off to one side a little bit?
No, I want it to kick straight out the center.
Well, if you do it straight out the center, won't you come off to one side of it and come off that frame and down a little low where the top of the light is just below the top of the frame, off to the side of where the exhaust pipe is, have the light there, and then the license plate centered up on the frame underneath it. You see what I'm talking about?
No, I'm lost.
All right, bring your hand up just a little bit where the light's up a little bit. All right, now come in towards the frame a little more with the light, towards the seat, and come out towards the back. Come to the back with the light. All right, and come out to your right, just a hair with the light. Not that far. Something kind of like that. Melt a bracket where it's towards the back of it like that, and then have the license plate laying flat on the frame, centered up on the frame, below it right there. Towards the brake thing.
The light there, and then the license plate like here or something?
Up just a little. Well, something like that. Something like that right there.
Kind of shine on it a little?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have a bracket made where it bolts up, where you can unbolt it or bolt it up. Maybe like.
I kind of do want to do like the side mount license plate for some reason.
Do it like that and or what you could do, Tater, is get some piece of the pipe that's just bigger than the frame itself. And split the side of it, open it up to where it slides over the frame, and weld a nut on one side and a bolt on the other to where it's like a clamp.
Right.
And have the tag, the bolt going through the hole on the tag, to where you can adjust it where you want it at, and then tighten it up, and it clamps to the frame and holds it, and holds the license plate at the same time.
Yeah.
And then you can mount the light to where you can move it, set it where you want it, get the light where you want it at, and put your little tab coming off the bottom of that frame right there to hold the light, and still had the exhaust coming out the very center.
I was thinking about like doing the light on this side since the chain takes up so much space.
You'd have to put a guard on there to keep the chain from slinging stuff up on the light.
I don't know if I like it like this now that I'm looking at it. Because the way the tire is, it'd have to be like way up here.
Or how about bring the tag all the way to the back and put on the outside of the frame like they do on motorcycles. Outside the frame by the bearing. Turn it upright. Turn it vertical.
Then it would be covering its brake caliper.
like that, sticking up on the end, no, not over the caliper.
No, like this.
Yeah, they do it where they stick over the end like that, have it where it bolts up like that, have a tab off the top and a tab off the bottom to hold it.
This is a lot more to think about than I thought.
Oh yeah. When it comes to custom work, your mind you put it in one place, then your mind starts running. Well, what about if I do this, or what about if I do that? And it's constantly changing different stuff.
It's not even I like literally pulled this out of a trash can the other day. It's some random guy's motorcycle license plate. I just stole it. We get pulled over going down the road, and you're like, "This license plate's non-existent." I'm like, "Dude, it's a mini bike."
They'll be like, that plate don't match that bike. Well, I pulled it out of a trash can, just put it on here for looks. It ain't supposed to be real.
That plate was on a missing motorcycle. That's why I found the plate in the garbage.
That's probably too much, huh?
That's too big. I think I got some that's about a 2-inch. I got some long stem ones that I think's got a 2-inch round mirror on it. I think I got 2 of them under my bed. If I got them, I'll bring them to you because I ain't got nothing to work on.
These are actually Harley Davidson. Can't see it because it's in the.
Well, if you got both of them, you know you turn around and sell them for at least $100. Anything says Harley Davidson start at $100.
I bought them at a thrift store for like $2.
Dang, that would be cool.
I could like literally bolt it if I cut that thing out, like somebody was saying. I think it was you or somebody was saying cut this out. Yeah, and then I could literally bolt it right there. It's like the same width as the clamps. It's the clamps, and it works too.
Just got to clean that glass up a little bit, where it ain't so yellowy, foggy looking.
It's like plastic.
Headlight restorer thing where you put that compound on there and rub it out and all. It should clean it up some.
Some bug spray?
No. Headlight restorer kit has a buffing compound stuff you put on there and you polish it out. It'll make it clean again.
Bug spray works on headlights sometimes.
On the glass ones, maybe.
Yeah. I gotta go to bed.
All right, y'all. Yeah, I need to shut this thing down. It's 10:22. I appreciate y'all coming up and hanging out with us, but we're gonna call it a night.
No problem.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good one. We'll be back next Thursday.
All right, Mudster.
Yep. Y'all have a good one. Thanks for having me.
All right, Jay.